Did the internet?
Please, internet, save me.
No, they can't save you.
They can't help you here.
Hi.
Hello and welcome to the basement where D&D is meant to be played. I'm Dakota, King of the Cardboard Castle, and I'm going to be your host and dungeon master for yet another episode of our new show, Paper Stars.
Woo!
Thank you guys so much for sticking with us through some technical difficulties and a little bit of a hiatus we had. We had some issues in recording, as you're going to have with any new production, and we just couldn't quite make up the gap before we had to take some time off to spend some time with our families at the holidays.
We're a well-oiled machine. We know exactly what we're doing.
I hope that you enjoyed our impromptu repost of a one-shot, Ashes to Ashes and Dust to Dust, GM'd by our wonderful Blake Sanford last year in September.
I had fun.
Yeah.
He ended
traumatized.
People
I specifically am traumatized. I don't know about the rest of,
the players.
I am traumatized. And also, I hope you enjoyed our guest appearance from the lovely Happy, who was once a part of our little stream and has since moved on to greater projects. But I feel like I had another announcement before I got to this announcement, but my brain doesn't work right now.
And that's where the wheels fell off.
And
right
the wheels
there.
are off. We have new art.
We do!
Yes.
We do. Yes. Blake, take it away.
So I have been lucky _enough to be working with Frank Calico. He's an artist I found on Instagram. His Instagram and Twitter handle is just @Frank_Calico. He is fantastic to work with.
He's been so good to us.
Yeah, taken so much of our
crap.
yeah, no, I'm sorry. We're a little picky. We get attached to our characters, so
The professional term for it.
Fine.
Professional term for it is feedback. It was crap.
He's been great though, and he's very good about responding quickly.
Yes.
So
He did
his
wonderful
art
work.
is amazing. We're gonna show you.
It'll be somewhere.
Video editing.
Yes.
It'll be everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be over there.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Yonder.
You probably will have already noticed, if you're paying attention, that we have A, posted it onto our Twitter, and B, I've replaced the thumbnails on each of our character trailers with that art. It's phenomenal.
It is fantastic.
We don't have the finals yet. By the time this airs, we will.
We're very close to having the finals, and so far what we have is already amazing.
I
So
love what you do with my girl.
I love this art.
yeah.
If you let me keep going about this art, I will go for like hours.
We're also going to link his info in the description in the
Yes.
doobly-doo. So
It'll be in the description. We're going to @ him on Twitter. I don't have an Instagram for this. I probably should.
probably.
Probably.
Yeah, by the time this airs, we'll have an Instagram.
Don't put that on me.
Hopefully.
Don't put that on me.
Don't
I'm
put that
still
evil on
learning
me.
how to Twitter, okay?
But yes, he is great. Check out his stuff.
Yes, fantastic. Still don't remember the other announcement that I had.
We'll save it for next time.
Sure.
Yeah.
There will be a special announcement next time. God, now I have to come up with a special announcement.
Ah, shit.
Or just, like, at some point, remember, and then say it.
In the middle of combat. Wait!
But wait, there's more!
There is not. So, last time on our episode titled Don't Grab the Elderly,
Don't grab the elderly.
We're great. We're wonderful.
the Caravan spent a restful and illuminating evening in the town of Lumia on their first stop on the Blackhollow Pass on the way to the Fort Pine Point colony to the east. They rested in various degrees of comfort, and most awoke in the dead of the night to the sound of wing beats in the air. A dragon that has been seen in the area in recent months alighted in the town square and exhibited some strange and concerning behavior. For a long moment, the whole town seemed to hold its breath before she retreated again into the sky. In the morning, you made your goodbyes and set off again on the path and descended in midday into an underground portion of the Blackhollow Pass. Elsewhere, the tiniest, most infinitesimal fragment of divinity drifts into the forests around her little temple, listless. The leaves have just barely begun to change, and the first shed of early autumn has just tumbled to the ground, not even all the way golden. She cups the little greenish leaf in her hands, joy and sorrow and loneliness, all jumbling into tears, into great heaving sobs that tremble every leaf and branch in her proximity. In days too quickly forgotten, long past, disciples would have already begun bringing their autumn offerings, the first ripened fruits of the harvest. Priests that once lived in her humble grove would fashion these offerings into a banquet for all, a night of joy and laughter and light and community and entertainment and contentment. She weeps for those days, for those disciples, for those passing. She weeps for her temple, for the forgetting. She weeps for herself, the little forgotten god, the lost god of Blackhollow. She drifts away and returns to her little temple, to her stream and her grove and her last faithful disciple. He would never leave her, not now, not ever. She would never be alone again. She made sure of it. So, as the party makes its way east, I would like somebody to roll a D percentile for me, please.
Oh,
I got it.
Yeah.
3.
3!
3.
Okay.
Cool.
So about those ropers.
Yeah.
You're cute.
97 ropers.
Oh, God.
No,
97
please.
ropers go by.
So, it's your first half day in the tunnels.
Mm.
You know this path very well. You're leading them, you know. There are a couple of detours that you have to take as you see some cave-ins that you're aware of, you know, down the normal path. And you think it's going to take a little bit extra, but as you take a couple of these detours, I would like you to roll a survival check for me.
Sure. Money and winnies.
I believe last time you were working on a painting. You were speaking with
Yeah, the painting failed, so.
Amber about your rings.
Yes.
18.
18. You actually, as you're kind of taking some of these detours, you notice a couple of the cave-ins that you were expecting, you know, kind of just glancing down that way, had been cleared up. You move 50% faster than you normally would have, and you actually reach your camping grounds, you know, a little bit faster than you normally would have. You can push on a little bit further to another smaller camping ground if you want to cover the time, or you could just, you know, set up for an early rest.
No, there's some ass kicking to do today.
There is some ass kicking to do.
Yeah.
So, you head down the path. You very easily find there's a large archway on the south side of the path from you into a large cavern. Large, kind of roundish. It used to be a natural cavern. The ceiling is natural and rough, and you've got all of these stalactites hanging down, some of which have been cut off to give more room in the cavern, and then have started to grow smaller stalactites from their flat ends. And then the floor has been mostly cleared. Some stalagmites have been left just because it's a bitch and a half to get them out.
Yeah.
And some are, you know, more newly formed. This pass has been in use for thousands of years. Blackhollow has been a very rich trading pass for a long, long time. But there are a couple of stalagmites still left up. On the far wall, you can see a couple of alcoves have been carved into the rock as resting places, and some of them have little escape tunnels coming out from them that are fairly clear, straight shots out to the surface. It takes a long freaking way, and you can't get a cart through it, but in case there's a cave-in or a fire.
Yeah, we can egress pretty quickly.
This is a natural cavern that was carved out to be a resting area along the pass. But you circle the wagons, people start getting set up. Members of the Songbird Circle start to put together. There is a fire pit in the center that, as you look up, there's kind of almost a funnel that's been carved out and a chimney that's been carved out above. And it occasionally just drips a little bit. You gather that it's probably raining up above, but it's not enough to put out a fire.
Good.
So.
Okay.
But
Cool. So I'll help expedite the creating of campfires since I can just produce flame.
excellent. They very much appreciate it.
Yeah, she's just like hitting the rock and. I will say it is mighty handy to have you spellcasters around with us.
You're welcome.
Indeed.
So begrudging. I guess you're useful.
Yeah. You're occasionally all right, folk. Yeah, I'll help.
But shakes head and walks away.
I remember kind of their announcement.
I
Go
help
on.
gather wood.
Yeah.
I would help, but I don't think to help.
You would, but you won't.
I would, but I won't.
Great,
I've been
great.
collecting like miscellaneous rock samples and any like little plants that I've seen along the route. I've just been collecting, and I'm basically
Fungus, lichen,
I'm testing everything and getting data.
Are you getting like large samples of them to figure out how to use them for anything, or are you just getting like tiny clippings just to get like
I'm just getting enough to where I
chemical
can
analysis?
run through my gambit of scanners,
Okay.
and then I just catalog all that data.
Okay.
I'm not the one that actually turns these things into useful stuff. I'm just the one that finds out the actual data.
I would be helping everyone get set up, and as I'm passing by Taruk, I would be like, that one's poisonous, and then come back the other way. That one will give you diarrhea. And, no, that one's all right for you. It kind of tastes a little bit like, guano. Keeps on going.
Do you know what guano is?
I don't know, probably.
Well, I mean,
Probably.
Taruk's kind of a naturalist scientist.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a comedic setup there. But
They do this, like, they actually research into the places they go before they go as to what's known.
Yeah.
So, like, knows a basic smattering of stuff.
You know what guano is.
Cam
I was
is kind of just
so
flexing.
hoping that you would think it was like some exotic dish and you were going to eat it.
I think Cammy is probably
Guano,
hoping to.
guava.
See, now I wish
Yeah.
I
Maybe that's a
guava.
translation issue.
Translation?
Translation issue.
Yeah.
Just like that. That was a translation
Translation.
issue.
Yep.
What?
But yes,
Call me
I'm
club.
in a different world.
Yeah.
I would be assisting Thrumless in grabbing flammables and trying to get the fire going and assisting with camp civic.
Mm-hmm. Probably not too big, you all. You end up putting too much of a fire, it'll start getting stuck at the top and start working its way down.
I suppose.
I build a sizable one, not too big.
Or many small ones.
That could get you there.
Set us all on fire. Let's go.
Yep. Yes, that'll be a great idea. Yes, set everything on fire in multiple locations.
Okay. Produce fire.
All over.
One of the
Sarcasm's a little lost on these ones, isn't it?
Yes.
just right out there.
Mm-hmm.
But as you're all setting up, the cavern is large. It's, your caravan can take up a sizable corner of it, but this is the kind of cavern that's built for like caravans, like small armies marching through this area. So it's huge. You've got plenty of space. You even notice, there is a well in not the center. It's kind of off to the side, but there's a well that's been built that digs down to the water table, which is not very far below you. You are fairly far underground. And then there's also like a stalagmite that it looks like they started to dig it out and then just decided to like carve it into a place that you can rest on. There's like a little step and then like a little seating area and then another like, it's been carved flat on the top and you can tell just by like the striations in the stone that it's just kind of like a feature. Probably because they gave up on getting it out of there and they decided they'd make it into something. But
Makes sense.
it's a good gathering place. Some of the kids that are with you, Acorn and whatnot, that's with the Songbird Circus. They're running around climbing on shit, playing on it, but as kids do. But you all had mentioned something you wanted to do in the evening.
Yes.
Indeed.
Cammy would go over to Hayes and would just kind of loom over Hayes and pull out the spear.
How are you feeling feisty out?
She'll just like kind of put it on the ground and just kind of lean up against it. So, and she'll look to the other two.
I think
You all
it's
said
done.
you all said that you were a little interested in a little bit of a scuffle, a little bit of a what's the word?
Test.
Spar. Sure.
Oh, what?
Test.
Oh, test.
A test.
I had no idea what the hell I heard.
I think if we do, we should set up some ground rules. Probably don't want to go too crazy, as we do have people to protect in the off chance we do run into something down here.
Yes, we don't want to go too crazy. While these passes are relatively well patrolled and guarded, you still run the risk of if you make too much noise, like we did the other night, you end up drawing more things to us. And we're trying to get there with as few scrapes and bruises as we possibly can. So.
Boring. What?
I'm already scraped and bruised.
Yeah.
Very few of my talents create a lot of noise. Shouldn't be a problem.
Right. Well, I think over there looks like a good spot. Songbirds, play us a little something lively, why don't you?
Who is the older one? The older sister, Bly, who is kind of in charge.
Uh-huh.
She kind of like lifts her chin at Chatsuma, who is her younger brother, and he sighs. And he grabs his mandolin and he starts to kind of give a jaunty little tune, which I will probably add in post.
Everything's in post, it's fine.
Everything's post.
Everything's
fine.
in post.
It doesn't kill the editor.
No.
Hey, you did it to yourself.
I know, I did.
Yup.
What do you want from me?
You're so.
It's such a good song. Love that song.
What do you want from me?
I don't have one of those. I don't know what you want from me, Ben.
Right.
Couldn't tell you.
Well, seeing as you kind of have an idea, actually, have we been in any scuffles with any other interesting folk or creatures as we've done the other caravans, or has it been pretty quiet, all things considered?
Oftentimes, the kinds of conflicts that you have gotten into with caravans
Yeah.
have not been the kind that you get involved in.
Okay.
If you catch my drift.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. So, since Hayes has been with you, you haven't gotten into any of those scrapes.
Okay. Well, who wants to go first?
Unless
I
we
can.
want to do teams.
I think it would probably be better to do individuals.
Right.
Then the other two can observe a little bit better.
Oh.
Mal, from where they have set up kind of in the corner. Come on, give us a show.
We should lay some ground rules.
Mal, you're drunk.
I resent that. I resent that.
She literally gestures towards all the bottles on the ground.
I don't know what you're talking about. Literally, doesn't even drink it, just dribbles a little bit on their shirt.
While talking.
While talking, yes.
Good job.
Do we want to do ground rules, time limits, cutoffs?
I mean,
60
Tap
seconds,
out.
someone yields.
All right.
yielding is usually
Yielding is
the rule for this type of thing.
We don't want to end up too beaten and bruised.
When you say yield, Cammy kind of chuckles for a sec.
I mean, I would normally, under regular circumstances, love a to unconsciousness fight, but probably not the best idea when we are supposed to be guarding people.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think until yield seems reasonable. Or 60 seconds,
I think
whichever comes first.
And I suppose you should yield after you've gotten a few bumps and scrapes.
Whenever you feel you are
Bloody.
risking not being able to protect the group.
Mm.
fair enough, fair enough.
Right. Well,
Promise.
So what I'm hearing is, and this is Bly, the elven woman who was with the Songbird Circle, she's kind of wandered up to you.
hmm.
Do you need an officiator?
We'd love one actually.
That could work.
Because I'd
60
really like.
seconds maximum to the round. To the yield, not to the blood, not to the first touch.
Hmm.
Correct.
Yes.
Indeed.
Right. Seems adequate accords, I'd say.
Any other notes to call the match?
Keep the power levels low.
Fair enough. I think that
Keep the heavier
is
stuff for
Self-government?
emergency.
for defense, emergency.
I have one of two speeds, so one which is not going to provide much of a fight, and the other which will provide a bit of a fight. So
Yeah.
But I will make sure I do not expend too much of my resources.
Or we alternate evenings in which we spar. Could do that as well.
Ooh. Then it could be to unconscious this. Because we would have two at full power. And
Feeling
two that can be
bloodthirsty
recovered.
already.
I just think it is more interesting.
Can you an insight check?
Yeah.
Also, you never know.
Nah, that's garbage. 8.
Someone might get out on foot and immediately be knocked down, but
He
be able to
wants
catch
to
up
knock
later
you
in the
out.
fight.
He wants to kill you.
Murder.
There is less time
Honey, you don't have
when
to
it's
lie.
not to a knockout. There is less time to turn the tide of battle.
Honey, you don't have to lie to me. Let's go. Let's take it. As she will begin kind of just dragging the spear behind her, like carving
Is it
a little line
blood
into it.
I guess.
Lady
You
Fearless
You two
against
tomorrow night. All right.
Lady Fearless.
Hmm.
Cole. I'm sorry, dear. I never caught your name.
Taruk
Taruk.
and Volks.
1-on-2 fight.
Well, it's.
I like a
control
challenge.
it. I control it.
Is this amenable to you?
It'll be funny.
I mean, I'm useless without Volks, so
Yeah.
it would
I
not be a
figured.
fight.
All right.
So
Minnie,
miniature.
where would you like yourself?
Is this the well right here?
This is the well. This is the stalagmite that's been turned into
Kind of a raised platform.
resting place.
Yeah.
These are all just like regular stalagmites.
Yeah. She'll probably just end up like right here.
Right in front of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
Love your Minnie.
Oh yeah.
He looks like a order of green fries. No. You know, did you
Green
ever
fries
watch
and ham.
VeggieTales?
I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silly.
Yeah.
To everyone
I
else
was gonna go near the
who
steps.
lived through that, I'm
Alright.
sorry.
VeggieTales were awesome.
Close your hands, cheeseburger.
Everybody has a water buffalo.
Yes.
All right.
There's my hairbrush.
I did this to myself.
Yep.
I did this to myself.
You did.
When you invited us to play this game,
You did this to yourself.
you signed your own
I
death
did.
warrant.
When he walks, get set, fight.
Oh no, my dice hate me.
What'd you get?
A 6.
A
God,
6.
I got an 8. Oh my
I
god.
said fight.
You both weren't entirely ready at this
She says fight, we both go. What?
Oh.
Yeah. She's just kind of like rolling her head first, like, oh, it's about this time. And, okay, yeah,
You're
so.
not as cute as you think you are.
What'd you say to me? As she will.
No fights outside of the arena.
But there's
She can say whatever she wants to.
inside the arena.
Cool. So she is going to.
I need like those grabbers.
Yeah.
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 You need like a little T-Rex to grab things and move it.
That's
Yeah.
not precise enough. I need like the old people.
Okay, so I have 40 feet of movement.
I had some
I
of those
also
when I was
need
like
that.
6.
I also need that just around my house because I'm
40.
short and I've got vaulted ceilings.
Perfect,
And
I
Bill
have-
puts things on the top shelf.
That's not surprising.
Seeing as Taruk was so kind as to let Cammy know that he's useless without Volks,
Yeah.
she's going to, very smartly go just directly for Taruk.
So
So I should be able to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
that's 40.
Oh, I should be able to go one diagonal and then across. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Okay, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
Straight for.
Yeah, you'll see her just kind of moving back and forth, and we'll lurch forward and start, like her hooves will just dig into the ground and just jettison her forward.
Excellent.
Anime style.
Fully anime style. She's not going to use the spear this time because she doesn't want to actually mortally wound you. So
Yes.
yet. So she is instead going to just do some armed strikes.
Ooh.
with the shock gauntlets.
Okay.
So it's gonna hurt a little bit. All right. So first attack.
This is the easiest combat I've
Oh,
done.
no.
Did you crit me?
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. First attack. So we're just rolling 2 dice.
Yes.
Okay.
Double the amount of dice rolled.
Big number.
Does the shock?
No, like
What are the shock gauntlets do for you?
just electrical damage instead. So luckily I rolled
You
like
rolled
shit.
garbage.
Yeah.
I'm
So that was 7.
And this is why I do things like this.
Yeah, 7 points
Okay.
of lightning damage. The first one, as she like just kind of kind of faints for a second, then second attack. That's a natural 1. Full range.
Balance.
Balance. The
Love it.
scales have balanced.
Must be.
How like it almost went there. It was almost 13. I was like, not one.
Nah.
Anything
Um,
else?
You know what? We're doing the full display. Let's go ahead and do. Actually, let me double check on this ability. Oh, I think it's like a full action in order to do it. It's fine. I won't do that this time. So she'll just go ahead and do flurry of blows.
Okay.
Um,
I'm so sorry.
that is a 14 to hit.
That barely hits.
Yep. Stunning strike.
Oh, that's not good for me.
No.
Burning a lot of key points though.
No,
Natural 17. I mean,
Natural
2 so far this turn.
no. I just.
Flurry of blows.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And stunning strike.
It's okay.
Natural 17 though.
Okay, cool.
Uses up in charge bear.
Good.
Yeah, as she kind of goes like right. Let's see. Let's do damage for that. Garbage. That is 4.
You're really holding back.
I'm really holding back.
No, I'm just dodging a little better than you expected.
Mm-hmm.
Not dodging, but I'm preventing you from hitting the points you're exactly going for.
You expected him to be like super weak, and he's like, got a
Also,
little bit of jive.
You're clipping edges of subdermal armor that you didn't know was armor.
Huh. Got a few tricks to you. All right, and she's gonna go for her last attack. One more stunning strike.
If you hit.
If I hit. Well, let's. Probably not. I'm rolling like hot fucking garbage right now.
I mean, you got a crit and a hit on 4 attacks.
I got that's an 11 to hit.
Misses.
Yeah.
Clangs off of my subdermal armor.
Huh.
Anything else you want to do?
That's all I got.
All right.
I'm at exactly half hit points though.
Interesting.
Oh,
Damn.
you took that in one turn.
Yep.
Yes.
Roll a con save. Just so the audience knows, I am doing a lingering injury table. Failure. Wait, what was it? What was it?
5.
Okay. Never mind.
No, yeah, 5.
Roll me a. This is mark off. You have 1 level of injury, because that changes what table things are rolled on. So if you get another lingering injury, you would then be rolling on level 2. But then roll me a d8.
Who's not going to screw me?
I like the
That's
idea
fine.
that like
5.
after hitting that last hit, you're just like, oh, that wasn't so bad. And
So she rushes forward. She just lays into you. One of the attacks that hit, the first one that hit, actually hits you right here in the shoulder. And the second one that hits you, you put your arm up to block, right? And she hits you there and pushes the shoulder out of place, and you've dislocated your shoulder.
cool.
But, so, you have disadvantage using any skill or weapon that requires 2 hands, or making attack rolls with the dislocated arm. If you wield a shield or other, reduce your AC by 1, you don't use a shield. And then that's just how to fix it, which we'll deal with later.
Okay.
But
I'm good then.
you
That's
have
not really going to affect me.
But, just so you know, your turn.
Well, that was shitty. Volks. Volks is going to turn on you
Yeah,
and stab at you.
yeah.
Stab at the.
I probably should have gone patient defense, but she's trying to flex.
You did.
I didn't. She's
Nice.
wanting. She was going a little aggressive.
You
this-
spend a
this
dark
one.
matter charge. 10.
Does not hit.
Yeah.
Oof.
Fucking useless. Alright. I'm just going to dodge and spend another charge of air.
Okay.
I'm not the combatant. Volks is the combatant. And when
Okay.
Volks gets ignored, then I'm useless.
Okay.
Actually,
I'll leave the notes your bonus action. Right?
well, dodge is an action.
Oh, right.
You could action disengage and
I
fucking run away.
could. Actually, what I'm gonna do
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
is
Careful of the camera.
I am not going to disengage.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna go 5. I'm just gonna go there.
I get attack of opportunity.
Yes.
Okay.
Assuming at disadvantage because we're still dodging, yes.
No, I'm not dodging.
Okay. So straight.
No.
Okay.
You have
I'm
unaction.
just. Yeah, I'm just gonna run away. I'll take the hit.
Okay. God damn. 12 does not hit. I'm assuming.
Nope, 13 AC.
13.
And as I'm running away
Mhm.
with my still functioning arm, I'm just gonna pull out a little gizmo out of a side pocket, and it looks like a little ring, kind of like a magnifying glass, but with just a stub instead of a whole handle.
Okay.
And just point it towards you, and it's gonna shoot a beam of cold at you.
Okay.
They're giving you the cold shoulder.
Do I have
Let me see.
any kind of cover? Because they're firing from.
I said as
Oh,
I'm
as you're running away. Got it.
As I'm
Yeah.
running, I can balance a die on
And take it.
it. Plus 7. Yeah. 22.
22. Okay. I will use is it an attack roll?
Yeah.
I will use telekinetic deflection.
Ho, ho, ho.
See, we're learning things about each other.
Yeah. That's a,
6 damage.
Does that work for spells?
it does.
In this, yeah, in
In
this,
this
it
does in
does.
particular.
Oh.
Okay, so I
In
get to
this
roll.
system, they can do against cantrips too,
Yeah.
which is real strong.
That's
It's
crazy.
dope.
Yeah.
I love this game.
Go for this.
Check out Spaceships and Star Worms.
Cool.
Star Worms on Twitter.
17. So as you fire, so I rolled a 17 total because it's +8. It's a D10 plus 8.
Oh,
my telekinetic.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Jesus!
That's ridiculous.
yeah. Because it's monk level plus your.
Monk level?
Yeah, it's monk level plus your dexterity.
Dexterity modifier.
Oh.
Plus a D10.
Yeah, I rolled a 9.
I can't physically damage you ever. Like for like probably 20 levels, I couldn't hit you with anything. That's a ridiculous amount of damage it reduces.
Yeah.
We'll look at it.
That's
Yeah.
a ridiculous amount of damage
Yeah.
that reduces.
So, yeah,
Okay.
as you go by,
The monk thing, I think, is also a D10 plus.
yeah, for monks it's the same thing.
Yeah, but when you can do it on literally any ranged projectile at you, including cantrips,
Yep,
like that
cantrips and psychic
neuters
knacks.
people.
Yeah, cantrips, psychic knacks, and gadgets. Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
We'll
Yeah.
look at it. But
Yeah, that's fine. If it needs to be
Yeah.
nerfed, it can be nerfed. But,
That just seems really strong.
but yeah,
you're just
as
saying that because you got cock blocked, aren't you?
Oh, actually, we're at level 5, right?
we are.
Yes.
So it's 2d8, but still, that's not gonna. 6 and so 13.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you're going away, she just, she's parrying away the attack from Volks, and then without even looking at you, catches this frozen bolt in midair, like full Kylo Ren. And,
See, we're learning things.
Yep. Yeah, we are. And she's going to spend a key point and fire it back at you.
Whew!
Damn.
So I think I make another attack roll.
Yeah, you make an attack.
Can you wait? Is that a reaction?
It is.
You used your reaction on
Yeah,
your
so as part of
It's
the
attack.
part
reaction,
of the reaction.
as part of the
you can-
reaction, I can fire it back.
If you reduce
No,
it to 0.
You used your reaction to
You
attack.
take an attack.
Oh,
You take an
yeah.
attack
Oh,
roll.
you're right.
Activity.
Ha! Thank you.
So-
Thank you.
Never mind.
So you take 13 cold damage.
Ha ha ha! Rules.
All right.
There you go.
And your speed is halved.
Yeah, she like goes
Oh.
it. Okay, so
That's a
You go to like deflect it as if you would, but you're just not quite fast enough because
That's
you're
why I
recovering
didn't
from
go-
the attack.
That's why I wanted the attack of opportunity, is because then I could.
There you go. I'm sure that was intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That
mean-
was, that was your plan all along.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you're
Alright.
taking the attack and then you go up to deflect it and you just don't have enough time to
You're just a
get
little-
there
yeah.
before it gets to you.
okay.
But
All right. Fine. So she, realizing that there's like ice that's kind of gathering at her feet,
you also have
Volk's in the
a
way.
big fuck off beetle right in
Yeah,
front of you.
let me.
That is, rather threatening.
Oh, she's not worried
You sure?
about it.
You know.
Yeah. Let me.
Yeah, Volks has more hit points than me and more AC than me.
Let me just double check.
Volks is the scary one. No.
Okay. How does jumping work?
How does jumping
Yes, how indeed.
work? Why? What is your question?
I would like to use Step of the Wind and possibly just jump over Volks, using the disengage action while doing so.
So
It doubles my jump distance while I use Step of the Wind.
So, rules is written for 5e.
Yeah.
Jumping, the distance you jump still is used up in your movement.
Okay.
So, in this case, it would probably not do any different than just
a normal
to
jump.
move. Just to use it as disengage and move away.
Yeah.
You could flavor jumping, but I don't think it's really necessarily going to save you any movement.
Hmm. Let's see.
And I'm 30 feet away from you, so...
Hmm.
yeah, I would say that's more like if you were trying to like vertical jump onto like that formation, or
Uh-huh.
like,
Yeah, I
get across a gap,
You know.
like a chasm or something like that.
Hmm.
That's when you need jumping, but rules is written it uses the same
You know what?
movement.
I'm going to go ahead and I will just use Step of the Wind and I will use the dash action with it.
Okay.
Mhm.
There you go.
He is going to attempt to stab you with the needle he had out last turn.
What's your movement speed
40.
and where are you going?
With
20.
with dashing,
Yeah, with dashing it's 40.
it's 40.
40 total.
Up next to me. Are you going to go between the two or around the other side?
I'll probably go. I'll probably go
40.
between actually.
Yeah, so like he'll end up here.
Oh, so you were here.
Yeah.
Actually, with Step of the Wind,
5,
isn't
10,
that just
15,
a bonus
20,
action to
25.
dash?
30, 30.
Yeah, but you have to spend a key
25.
point or
I'm
do
gonna
it.
trust you on this.
So
Yeah,
it's okay. So it's
you
still
still have
just
to
bonus
spend a
action
point.
dash. Bonus action dash.
Yeah, bonus action dash.
Okay.
Yeah.
My brain is still wired for 5e. Whenever you throw dash, I think action.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah, monks
Yeah.
get it as
Yeah.
a bonus action as a key point.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Rogues get it as a bonus action.
Sorry,
Yep.
I'm trying to stamp down on my rolls later.
Attack opportunities.
Stabby, that's gonna hit 20.
That will hit.
All right. Ooh, 20 points of necrotic damage.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ow.
I have 7 hit points left.
Moved up.
What's your total?
40.
So that 20 points is half, so you need to do an injury too.
Yes.
I was at 27.
What is your total max hit points?
My total max hit points is 40.
So
So
you
you
took
took-
half or more in a single turn.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You
Gotcha.
need to make a con save.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Gotcha. Let's do this.
I want it to incapacitate him so I don't have to deal with it. It's selfish. I know.
I am rolling like garbage today.
Yeah, me too.
That's a 6.
6 will not get it, so
Nope.
roll a d8 for me, please.
Sure.
Oh, I need to spend a charge for that.
7.
7. Trauma.
Hmm.
Just this week has been fucking stressful for you.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me a d100.
Sure.
That's not dangerous.
That's not dangerous at all. It's fine. 50.
50. Okay, you're probably fine.
Probably.
Just, what did Volks hit her with?
Necrotic damage.
Something about that triggers just in the back of your brain, like it's a feeling you are familiar with for reasons you don't want to examine.
Yeah.
And there are certain memories that you are pushing down currently.
Yeah.
What is Cammy's original, what's the word I'm looking for, native language? What's her mother tongue? What would her mom have taught her first?
Her mom would have taught her either Elven or Sylvan. It would have been
Probably Sylvan.
Probably Sylvan,
Probably Sylvan.
because that was the language of the forest. Yeah.
Indeed. You start. You can't stop yourself from just babbling in Sylvan. You're just. All of your thoughts are coming out of your mouth, but your mouth can't keep up with your brain, and so you keep stopping sentences halfway through, and you're just babbling. Character begins babbling and is incapable of normal speech or spellcasting, but you can still attack and do whatever. So
Super.
Come at me, bro.
congrats.
Great.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything's a little bit fuzzy, but not fuzzy enough to like stop
Not
you.
stunned.
Not
Very
stunned.
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But mark off that you are at one level of.
Yes.
Lingering
Notes, Other.
This is fun. I like the lingering injury table. It makes combat spicy.
Okay, good. I did take your wounds. I did take your wounds.
Okay. Cool. All right. So she is going to just run up to you and just be like screeching at you in a language you do not understand now.
Yeah, Taruk's definitely like, oh god, oh god, oh
Yeah.
god.
Necrotic was a bad move, dude. It was a bad move.
Fucking hell! Are you serious? That
You
is.
need new dice.
Apparently I do. That was 3 plus 6. That's 9.
I managed to deflect it.
Yep.
That was a journey.
Yeah. 16 hits.
That'll hit.
Do your damage.
Yeah. So that is a. 9.
Okay,
points.
I'm still
No.
up. I'm still
Okay.
up. I'm still up.
Two
Two hit
strike.
points left. Natural 19.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
Charge of air use.
He's a wily motherfucker.
Yeah. So she like kind of just comes, like she kind of just tries to do like a sweeping kick, like try and knock your legs out from under you, and then like as you're like looking out of the way, she grabs your head and bashes it into the column right there.
Shit. Your
Good
bell's
thing I have a
little
metal
rung.
skull.
Yep.
Your bell's still a little rung.
Oh yeah.
She's probably just like staring at him and saying, in Sylvan saying, "Yield."
And just like that, Kevin got real scary.
Yeah.
Yep. After like shaking his head, he kind of just and spurting from the tentacles this like misty cloud of spores.
Yeah.
Sleep.
Okay. You'll probably get it.
14, 17, 19, 18.
Okay.
But you have less than 18 hit points.
Yeah. Does my
Actually, ironically, no, I know better. I'd place it where it doesn't target me. I've used this before. So yes, you fall unconscious.
Does my click seal helmet help at all with this? I'm assuming it doesn't because
It's magic. It's not
It's
actually.
magic.
Yeah.
They're
It
not-
just looks like spores.
It looks like spores, and like your quick seal helmet keeps the spores themselves out, but then there's this kind of like glowing after image that pushes past the mask and into it,
Yeah.
and into your brain, and you just knock the fuck out.
As she's going down, like she just goes down onto her knees and then just curses at you in Sylvan, and then eventually just falls out.
Oh,
That was a cheap shot.
that was extremely close.
Shitty.
Volks.
Make a wisdom saving throw for me for no
Sure.
particular reason.
For no good reason in particular. That's a 4 plus, so 7.
As you're going down,
Uh huh.
everything is going a little bit fuzzy, and like You've got these like glowing spores. What color are they?
Probably like a light purple.
Light purple. You've got this kind of like lavender light, you know, in and around this kind of like cozy light. You just want to sleep. You kind of blink a couple of times, trying to keep awake because you're in the middle of something. Goddammit.
Yeah.
And you can see, hovering right behind Taruk, this after image made of kind of flickering smoke that just kind of looks at you, and you can't see any facial features, but you can assume it raises an eyebrow and then just swirls off into nothing. None of the rest of you see this, and you get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah. So if I had rolled,
Well, yes, if I had rolled well on the first turn too, that would have been different.
No, I know.
But
I'm gonna call Volks over. Volks, help it up. And the little needle dripping with blood and black goo, I guess, retracts, and another needle comes out and stabs into Cammy. And you regain.
Okay.
tell me those needles sterilize.
I was gonna say, like, that's gonna be.
We'll find out. You regain.
You built the robot.
You regain 9 hit points.
Cool.
Since you did not get hurt or anything, you don't actually wake up.
No.
He's not ready to deal with you waking
I'm gonna
up.
go over there, and Hayes is gonna kneel down by
And then I'm
Cammy
gonna
and
get
kinda,
stabbed by my robot too.
Gonna kind of go.
But the same needle?
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
I'm gonna kind of.
It does self-sterilize.
Into my lap and kind of tap the side of your face.
Also
Come on,
nine.
come on.
Don't share needles. I don't care what you're doing with your life.
Never.
Don't share needles.
It's sterilized.
Thravis will put a hand on your shoulder, and you'll feel this elevating pulse pretty much all around you.
Are you waking up from unconscious yet?
Yeah.
Hayes would be kind of like slapping her face a little bit.
Does
Yeah.
magic healing?
And like if it doesn't
fix the
work, you
shoulder?
just bam.
What level is it?
First,
How much?
7.
It does not, but with your proximity, you can tell that either higher level healing will do it. You can tell this before you give
Or you
the
can
healing
pop
spell.
it back in and then heal.
Third level is the cutoff for how high a level has to be to deal with the first level of injury
Yeah,
tables.
I'm not burning that high of a spell.
Or you can take the action, take a medicine check. Is medicine still a thing? in this
Yes, it
system?
It is. It's an
You
intelligence
can take
check.
a medicine check.
It's not going to be a good choice for me to do that. I'm brute force.
Can I make the medicine check and tell him how to relocate? Basically, just
Or
direct
is
him
this-
and angle
You
it
can
properly.
give Thromless advantage. You can
Okay.
give them advantage.
There's also
You need to.
also as that's happening, Cammy just got slapped in the face by
I
Hayes.
moved away a little.
Jump.
Bit. I moved away a little.
We'll
Uh.
get
Yeah.
Yeah.
because there's things that happen.
That's an 18, so 17.
17.
17 will do it. It's a
Okay.
DC 10.
Okay, good.
So,
I was
Does
hoping
it
you would low
remove
'cause I have to
the-
roll pretty high.
Does it remove my 1 injury level, or am I still on that?
you
until I
still
rest?
have that level of injury until you rest, but you are no longer dealing with the injury itself.
Cool.
Speaking of,
Okay.
you're waking from unconsciousness, which is the other trigger for a level of injury. So roll me a con save.
Sure.
So
Actually, is sleep unconscious?
Okay.
yes.
It's unconscious, but it's not 0 hit points.
Oh wait, let me double check that.
Because I
Yes.
think just it's like it's literally being asleep. So
Yeah.
I don't think that would trigger. Because I think it's the idea is based off of you drop to
Yeah.
0 hit points and went
Knocked unconscious during combat. I'm gonna rule that as if you're knocked to 0 hit points. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool.
What did you roll just out of curiosity?
18 total.
You would have been fine.
Yeah.
So, just for the audience's knowledge, my
Mhm.
lingering injury table has 3 levels. There is a level 1, a level 2, a level 3. They are different roll tables. If you take up or
half or more of your hit
half
points
or
and-
more of your hit points in a single turn, not a single round or a single action, but a single turn. So, like from one source, if she hits you 7 times and it takes half your hit points, that counts for a lingering injury because you don't have time to recover in between them. If you take half or more of your hit points, or if you are knocked unconscious during combat due to being knocked to 0 hit points, you have to make a Constitution saving throw. or you have to make a Constitution saving throw, save, or roll on the lingering injury table. There was one more thing about it. Oh yes, the DC is 10 plus half your level rounded down. I think. Rounded down or rounded up?
I can't remember.
I would assume
Half the character's level rounded down.
So it's 12 right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it's on the easier side of things.
yeah.
Yes.
The current DC is 12. As they level up, it will become harder to avoid lingering injuries. But
Great. Love it. Look
Yep.
forward
Yeah.
to
That'd be
it.
great.
yeah, indeed.
All right, you're being awoken by Hayes.
Yeah.
Kind of smacked me in the face a little bit, realized it wasn't working. He just kind of smack.
This causes her to, like, kind of, and
You
then
take 1 hit point.
yeah. That's
Knocked unconscious.
You take slap damage.
Yep. As she would, like, reflexively get back up on her feet, pull out the spear, and point it right at you.
Yeah, I backed away a little bit.
Am I still babbling in Sylvan?
Roll a. I think it's. Roll a d10.
Sure. Yeah, a D10. 3.
3. For a minute, you like have trouble figuring out like human speech. I'm going to have that because you were asleep for just a brief amount of time. You have trouble like trying to speak because you're really trying to speak in a language they're going to understand because you can't really deliver threats in a language they don't understand.
Yeah.
You can. It
You
just doesn't have the same
can.
impact.
It doesn't have the same impact. It
I mean,
can
if an
have
angry Russian comes at you,
That's
Yeah.
true. It has an impact.
It's tone.
I
Yeah.
don't want to know what the Russian is saying.
Yeah.
No, that would be worse.
No, it sounds like it's like if
You've pissed off a Frenchman.
yeah, you pissed off like a Frenchman or an Irishman
French
who's
Canadian.
actually speaking like fluent Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And-
a beautiful language, and you've never been this scared.
Yeah.
But just as you're about to like threaten him, Bly will kind of match to Taruk. Kind of like raising her eyes at you.
Yeah. She'll just
That
kind of
was very close.
she'll kind of
Good show from, your drunkard up in the corner.
You hurt a lot.
she is going to kind of just tilt her head, stare at you with the mask on, and then she's going to stalk away. She's She's a sore loser.
Bly kind
He
of
was literally gonna say that.
Yeah.
A bit of a sort of loser, but
Yeah.
Bly kind of leans over to you. She's a character, but
She has a lot of ego. She has a lot of ego.
The irony.
I'm not going to touch that one. Good job. Just pats you on the shoulder and walks away.
Good job, folks.
She doesn't want to fucking deal with you.
I was really counting on Volks missing that attack on me, that attack opportunity.
There's a reason I did what I did. To give Volks an attack opportunity. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised I won that.
I walked over.
She's
I was like,
quite scary.
I am not currently there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have bet against you.
I would have to.
Good talk.
Well done.
Normally, especially in the wild, most creatures don't really understand that me and Volks are linked, so they go after Volks and then it solves all my problems.
Yeah.
Fighting an intelligent person who understands that Volks is just an extension of me makes it a little harder.
Yes.
But that was fun. We learned a lot.
Yes.
She moves fast. I don't understand how, covered in ice, she still managed to move all the way up to me and punch me twice. I don't understand that. But now I know. Now I know.
Sheer fuck you will.
Honestly, yeah. It's some big dick energy she's rolling with right now, so.
Don't piss her off.
Yeah.
Man.
As you're
Too late.
walking towards
Don't
the
keep
camp,
pissing her off.
Yeah.
there's there are a couple members of the caravan who kind of were watching this as the match got set up. But the pixie woman who you've sort of met, her name is Pebble, who doesn't really talk to you a lot. She like seems nervous to approach. Very quickly, like buzzes up and hands you like a flower that's got a little like it's like a berry that has a blossom on it, and then this is for you. You did a good job, buddy, and just like flies away.
Yeah, that probably actually pulls Cammy out of it for a sec. She just kind of like is a little bit dumbfounded.
Cheer up, sunshine.
Don't ever fucking call me Sunshine again. You know goddamn well that I'm not Sunshine.
Where are you from, little one?
Roll me a
Be science.
give it a science check. Actually, survival.
Survival? 25.
25.
Yeah.
You recognize the berry. You recognize that it is not of this world. It's
Okay.
an effect of the spell Goodberry.
Oh, good berry.
Yeah, it is a Goodberry.
It's a
You
good
know
flower.
that the plant actually that this comes from, because Goodberry can mimic a number of things. The plant that this comes from is one that's native to the Feywild. So, and kind of has been a little bit of an invasive species. Was in your like home forest when you were younger, but it never really spread too far, so you didn't worry too much about it. You just picked it whenever you found it,
Yeah.
you know, roots and all, because it wasn't supposed to be there. But they're good, they're delicious. Make really good pie.
Fuck, I thought I had him.
I thought you do if it.
Do you eat the good berry?
There you
Is
go.
it actually a berry or is it a flower?
Yeah,
It's a berry. It has
The
a
berry flower.
flower attached. It's like a little stem, and there's a berry, and there's a like a little blossom.
There you go.
So,
So my next year is gonna have a good flower.
hmm?
My next year is gonna have a good flower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
It's weird.
For the record, I thought you did quite well in combat. It was impressive.
I underestimated him. That won't happen again. But yeah, that was.
He made up for his weakness with cheap tricks. It's alright.
Yeah, no, that I would call that a fucking cheap shot, but I mean, what else are you supposed to do when you're that scrawny and little?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Glad I don't have the perception of some of my other characters.
Yeah.
I mean, I have passive perception of 20, plus I have audio enhancement, which is advantage on hearing. So,
Roll a perception check. I'm not going to just give this to you
with advantage,
with advantage.
20.
You catch just enough. You can't catch like every single word, but you catch enough.
Do you need the
Yeah.
tantrum hole?
Give me the tantrum hole.
Please describe the tantrum hole
Yes.
because that was part of the lost episode.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
As we're kind of sitting off to the side, Hayes goes and kind of pulls from
The air.
beyond words a fun line as he draws out a door and opens it for you
Thank you.
and gestures inside.
I'll be right back.
It's
As-
very dark.
Yeah. Oh, that doesn't bother her at all.
Yes.
She like whatever squishy wall was there before. She's like just going to town on it.
I'm not sure if you can break it, so
I'm gonna try.
alright.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I just go, second time I've sent her into the tantrum hole.
Mhm.
There's a pattern here.
Yeah.
There is a pattern.
Well, it's not the pattern until it's 3 times. So let's see if we can make that pattern.
Oh my god!
You were fucking crazy.
I caught it with my neck.
Hey, good job.
Congrats!
Let me know if you need to scream and I'll
Are
shut
you
the door for a second.
sure
Yes, please.
you want to make it to the end of this expedition?
Scream.
Yeah.
In space, no one can hear you scream.
Precisely. I
Yeah.
shut the door to make sure, you know,
Yeah.
you can
It's
scream.
tantrum.
Yeah.
You can scream.
No
in
one can
peace.
hear you scream.
After about like maybe another 30
That's an episode
seconds of
title.
just yeah.
I kind of, after like 20 seconds, he just kind of opens the door again, and you're still going on. He's like, okay, never mind.
Yeah. After maybe another 30 seconds or so, she eventually just silence.
I open the door, my lady.
Big rut like sighs and begrudgingly takes your hand to get out.
That's bad.
Yeah. Thank you. That's gonna be very useful. Why didn't you ever tell me you had that before? I could have used that on the last run through. Then held out on me.
I'm sorry.
What other tricks you got?
You just have to find out.
I suppose it will. Have to see what you and your buddy over there are gonna be getting up to tomorrow.
I look at him with his bloody eyes, and I'm like,
Good luck.
It's like they are looking in your direction, but who are they staring at?
Indeed.
Yeah. I'm
everything.
gonna go do a patrol. Let me clear my head a little.
How injured do you still look?
Where? Oh, the chart. It's over there.
I have a chart.
Yes, you do have a chart. She's looking like
Look at me, I'm prepared.
she looks probably around. Let's see.
Beaten up.
Beaten up. She looks beaten up right now.
Beaten
She's
up.
about half.
Okay. Thermos will walk up to you as you're walking away from Hayes.
Uh,
Do you want some extra healing?
nah, I'm gonna let this one stink for a little bit. Makes me remember better.
Ouch.
Fair enough.
She's going to kind of hobble away, and also she'll, as she walks away, you'll also see like her hand begin to glow a little bit as a little bit of like radiant energy begins to glow like just as a silhouette on her black hand, and you'll see like these sparkles of golden light just kind of go down her body as she'll use hand of healing on herself.
There.
I got my own tricks, don't worry.
Just use up all your resources while you're going
Yeah.
out alone.
She's not going
Nothing
very
bad
far.
happened.
Nope, nothing ever bad happens to her.
Her life has been all
Actually,
sunshine
no,
and
she
rainbows.
won't use that. She goes to do that, and then she realizes better, and then she has like this little kind of pouch that she grabs some herbs, and you see like a little slit like appear on the click seal helmet, and she munches on those. She'll use her healer feat.
Oh.
No, so she'll take a d6 of healing. So she regains 8 plus 5 hit dice, so 5. So 13.
Excellent.
As she walks away, she seems to walk, after eating it, she seems to walk up a little bit straighter and kind of just cricks her neck and just kind of does a perimeter sweep of the cave itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess Thramus will go up to the sheared off stalagmite and then start meditating.
Okay. Alright. You all kind of disperse out to your nightly routines. Some of the caravan are setting up like tents just for privacy. Some aren't because you are protected from the elements in here. But, you know, the rest of the night is mostly peaceful. How are we doing watches?
I'll take first.
I can take a second.
I guess I'll take third watch.
I'll take last.
Alrighty.
Before we go to bed, she'll eventually return from her patrol. I'm assuming that she doesn't find anything.
Roll a perception check.
Sure. Went on a journey. 13.
13?
Yeah.
Nothing really out of the ordinary.
Okay.
You find some new graffiti in this cavern. You know, people carve shit in.
Fucking
in the
degenerates, I
walls.
tell you, every single time.
It's not like this place belongs to anybody.
I know.
But, you
It's
know,
art, man.
It's not.
some of them,
Are pretty.
Pretty soon.
She's left most of that, but like the other graffiti, that's just like gang signs and shit like
Yeah.
that.
J plus M, little heart.
Yeah,
They're
fuck you,
broken
Jane.
up now for sure.
Yeah, she would see that sign and just be like, Yeah. Hope that you're broken up now. And then, like, kind of put a light
Bitter.
there's
Ouch.
Yeah.
That word describes Camion.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah. More ways than you all
She's
know.
spicy.
Yeah. She'll eventually return from her patrol and she'll find where Taruk is.
Oh, I'm just probably honestly still in that area. Just sat down, like going over scans, and I pulled out the book that the doctor gave me, that Nancy had.
Oh,
Nancy Reagan.
Plants of the Rift Stitch Mountains.
yes.
And I'm gonna start looking through that too, just to find what plants I should be keeping my eye out for.
Roll a science check.
Natural 20, 29.
Nice. Now that was one that she had, not one that Dr. Nancy had given.
Oh
her,
yeah,
right?
yeah. That was
That was because
Correct.
she had some donated books, but she wasn't going to give up the ones that Dr. Nancy
correct.
had given her.
That was her personal.
Yeah. So it is written in Galactic Common. However, there are quite a few notes scratched into the pages. Very neat handwriting, but they are in Vomaran Common. So
I'll get that
not really
translated at
of
some
use
point.
to you.
I'm also digitizing it by basically just keeping an audio recording or a video recording as I flip through the pages,
Right.
and then I can pull the stills and just digitize the book basically.
Fair enough.
And I'll get those translated later. I'm
Cool.
not super worried about that.
But yeah, you kind of start flipping through it. It's not a long book necessarily, like it's not a big book, but it's dense and it's in small letters, and there are like the illustrations are gorgeous, but they are illustrations, not pictures.
Right.
So kind of parsing that out is difficult at first, but then once you start to get the hang of it and get kind of a roll on, you start to notice, like you see an illustration, you go, oh, I have seen that plant. Let me pull up the recording I have of 2 days ago and figure this
Connect
out.
those two dots.
Exactly, and like I've seen this in the wild, I've seen where it grows, I've seen the environment that it's talking about, and start to put together this almost like not esoteric method of writing, but this kind of different way of seeing the world that the book comes from. So it's less, a lot of guidebooks, a lot of like field guides to different environments that you have seen, that you have read, kind of treat you like a tourist in the area and try to describe everything in like vague, broad terms, assuming you know nothing about the field. This book was written from the perspective of someone who spends their entire life surrounded by these environments and already has a relationship with the environments. And so there are statements like, this plant, which you may know from blah, 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 you may forage it for your kitchen table for X reasons, X recipes, also has these other uses, and then like skips over basic information of like where it grows and like, things like that. And you kind of have to piece things together. But once you kind of get a momentum with that, it's very easy to kind of parse out. You only get about a third of the way through the book tonight, but you get a third of the way in one night.
Yeah.
So, congrats.
Can I sneak up on Taruk?
Ooh.
Roll a stealth check.
Sure.
Versus my passive.
Versus your passive.
Let's see.
Now, that passive of 20, does that include the +5 for
Advantage.
advantage?
No.
You just have a passive
I have
of 20?
I have a 10.
Now you know I've been dealing with this one.
So,
I have a 10
for hearing
perception.
specifically, you have a 25 passive perception.
Yeah.
Do you
Great.
let Hayes know that you're gonna go off? By chance?
No, she did.
He did?
Yeah.
When you're working out in the wild, you got to be aware of animals trying to sneak up on you. Like, you have to.
Understandable.
Yeah. 11.
Oh, I was gonna say. No, it wouldn't have helped.
That's
Even you can tell that you're not going to be able to, like, even you're like, God, this is amateur.
Your feet are a little heavy.
Yeah, she steps on a rock and like.
Get stuck between
I
the
don't
ropes.
think I recognize you're trying to sneak. I think it's just so clear to me.
Yeah.
I think you're just walking toward me.
Yeah, she's just like.
You cringe, but it's hidden by the mask, so you still look like, you're just walking with purpose.
Perfect.
Yeah.
She has to retain some of her dignity today.
Do you have dignity?
She pretends. Everyone's got to have a dream.
As you approach, he just goes, looks back at you, like pauses you for a second as he finishes the page he's looking at. Is there something I can do to help you?
That was a cheap shot, but I respect it.
What shot?
Oh, knocking me out and all that rather than finishing the fight.
I mean, folks could have done that. I also had some cantrips at my disposal as well.
You saw how well that went.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did pretty
Regardless, this is me. This is my feeble attempt at trying to compliment you. Just accept it. This doesn't happen very often. You shite.
Okay.
Yes. There's more to you than you let on, and I underestimated you.
Most people do.
Yeah.
Honestly, it is kind of why I present like this.
Yeah.
People do not expect much from me.
Yeah. The armor threw me through a loop.
Oh yeah. That was a fun one when I got that.
Yeah.
It hurt a lot.
I'm hoping it did.
Getting metal put inside of your body is not always fun.
Why'd you get metal put in your body?
That's taps on some of the armor plating. That is what.
No, I know, but why?
Oh well, when I'm out in the wild, animals attack me. Things can attack me.
I mean, there's other ways to defend
I
yourself.
also anger people quite a lot.
Yeah, you do that, don't you?
Yes.
Rather proficient at it. Or
sometimes people are being assholes and need to be reminded that they shouldn't be assholes.
Fair.
It's helpful.
Do oracles have calm emotion?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Did I forget?
you poked
It's
the
fine.
map can.
Is it good?
It's fine.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah.
You might want to move your bag.
I want to underestimate you next time.
Oh, we're doing this again.
Oh, at some point we will. Don't worry.
You will probably beat me. I am honestly surprised that I won that fight.
Like I said, that was on me. That was it's taking a lot to say. Yeah. Anyways.
Also, I mean, Volks usually is the one that does most of the fighting and is attacked most.
Yeah.
I don't really usually fight people who are intelligent enough to understand that Volks is not a separate thing.
You remind me of someone I used to know. I think that's probably why you drive me up a fucking wall.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, anyways.
I thought I was pretty unique.
You're not. Sorry.
So spicy.
Oh, well.
I mean, with the number of people in the universe, honestly, I'd be
statistically, it's pretty low.
That's actually
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
Good fight.
Do you need me to translate those passages? Anything interesting? I saw a little bit of my squigglies there.
Probably after I finish, I'll compile all of the writing that is not in Galactic.
Cool.
And give you a sheet.
Cool.
Oh, speaking of giving you a sheet, pulls out.
Zelena, help me.
This long
Christ.
of questions. You said you would. I don't know if you still.
Let's cut that in half, and then I'll do half of it tonight, and then half of it tomorrow.
How about I give you the whole sheet, and whatever you get to, just cut the paper there, and hand back what you've done.
Fair.
Okay.
She takes it and, very gruffly.
I do appreciate
stuffs inside of her cloak, probably crinkling it way too much.
What do...
I also say, I really do appreciate you giving me that knowledge, and will give Cammy 2 gold.
What is the nature of some of these questions? Like give me 3 of them, just a spread. What are you asking?
All sorts of things. Ranging from where does the dragon live?
Not a fucking idea.
Useless. To
That's a dragon.
To what animals are domesticated, what types of animals are domesticated, to what's the best smelling flower. Like, basically all sorts of just random whatever popped into Taruk's head as, this is something I wouldn't be able to immediately research super quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very either area-based or personal-based. Like,
see.
it's things that, like, culturally there's not a lot of studies done on Vomar.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's generic, like, these are the animals you might find on Vomar, but there's not, like, these are the pet animals, these are the livestock animals, these are, you know,
Right.
trophy animals. They go hunting for these types of things. Like, a lot of the culturally specific divisions aren't there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of, like, for lack of a better term, touristy questions.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. She looks at the money and she pockets it really quick. Right. Skills will be useful for other things.
well, I'm quite useful.
Mostly, yeah.
I'm useful, but that's not here.
Mm.
I'm very excited to see the other two's magic.
Yeah,
It seems very weird.
Well, Hayes has been holding out on me because I had no idea that the hole in space that he could do. I had no idea about that. I've been traveling with him for like a month now, and he's been holding out on me this whole time. That one, I'm really curious about.
He's creepy and scary.
Yeah.
He's very nice though.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's like that person you'll find in a bar who's just like completely tatted up and then like, you know, raises unicorns or some shit like that. Like,
We'll see. I'm very interested though.
Yeah.
That should be fun.
Yeah.
If I had to bet, I would probably bet on Ramos.
you know what? I'll take that action. I'll see what my boy can do.
Hey.
How much you wager?
Ramos is scary.
Oh, he is. He's terrifying. By the fact that he's taller than like all of us combined is horrifying.
Anyway,
Yeah. Right.
He's a big boy.
What's that?
He's a big boy.
He is a big boy.
He's only 7'10".
Yeah,
By
he's
he, I
little.
mean they.
yeah, they.
Yeah.
Okay, apologies.
Yes.
Yes.
Taruk probably wouldn't make that.
Mm.
Be specific about that. Blake forgot.
New character.
Yes.
New
You
character.
can do this.
Mm.
Yes, whatever you can get
All right.
done on that.
Yeah. So who's this Dr. Nancy to you?
Old colleague.
Can I roll an insight on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Right. Remembered my charisma.
Cool. That is a 16.
Colleague's definitely not the right choice of words. He's definitely not going to dive into that right now.
It's less. There's some like discomfort around colleague. It's you don't sense like avoiding criminal contact kind of discomfort, but more. There's something about this that I'm not willing to say to someone who's relatively a stranger.
It's a very, you can tell it's a very personal topic, not like a self-preservation thing. It's an emotional thing. I got a 6, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Right. Colleague. Well, hopefully we're able to find her. Do I remember if there is a temple on the way from across Blackhollow? If there's any interesting points of reference?
Roll a. What am I going to call this? They took away religion, didn't they?
They did.
They did. So I'm going to make this history.
History?
That makes. I mean, it makes
Oh.
It
sense.
does make sense with Vomar.
They took away our religion.
They did. 6.
6.
Yeah, total.
Actually, I'm going to say you've lived here your whole life. You've lived in this area your whole life. Roll with advantage. That's not just me giving you pity.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Do you want me to re-roll it, or do you want me to just roll another die and take whatever was highest?
Reroll whole check or just the second die?
Just the second die.
Second die. Natural 20! 23.
Nice.
23.
23 total.
So, what other information have you given her about this temple that you're looking for? Because I don't remember what I gave you, and I don't remember what you gave her.
Not much. I probably have, in passing, just said that I'm supposed to be looking for this temple for this lady. But that's pretty much it. I probably, if I got an idea based off of the tapestry map, where generally it was.
Would you have shown her the image that you got of the tapestry map since you're recording everything, or would you have just described it?
I would probably have taken my aerial map that I drew on the way down and found where along the tapestry map it would be and just been like in this general area.
Okay. Did you describe that it came from a tapestry?
Probably not.
Okay. Okay, good.
Probably just been like I'm supposed to be, unless that was like the answer to that was probed for. Like if she dug for that information, he wouldn't like prevent from saying it. But
Then I suppose that comes down to you. Would you have
been
dug
like,
for,
who asked you? Where did you hear about this temple?
or would it have just been, whatever, he's talking about some bullshit.
So you actually showed me the map.
My map,
Your
my
map.
drawn map.
Okay, and did it seem like it's pretty accurate to what I know?
Fairly.
Okay.
It is still stylized to a point, so it's not
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
super to scale, super accurate. but
It's a stylized map, but it is a stylized map that is taken from an actual, like, image of the area from above.
Gotcha.
So,
She'll be okay. Well, keep up the good work with whatever it is you're doing. And
I
she'll
will say, sorry.
stand up. Oh yeah, she'll stand up and stop in the temple.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
with a 23.
Yeah.
In that area, there are temples all over the place, right? Like there are quote unquote temples, places where people worship and have worshipped, that have come into favor and then been kind of lost back to the forest, and that's just the cycle of these things, right? Like there are areas that are considered sacred that aren't necessarily temples, and there are temples that aren't necessarily considered sacred.
Okay.
There's kind of this, it's amorphous a little bit. In that area, and that's kind of further along the pass than where you are, it's past the halfway point. There is an old grove temple to, pardon me while I look up my Pantheon document. Look at me being so professional. There is an old temple to Regila, the goddess of the wilds. It's less a temple to her and more a temple in her name. There are a couple along this pass, but in that area you know of one. You haven't personally been there. You've just heard stories about it, so you don't necessarily know how to get to it. But you know there's some talk of like following a stream that crosses at a black oak. You find a black oak along the high part of the pass. There will be a stream next to it. You follow that stream up. Some stories of that nature.
Oral tradition, landmark navigation.
Okay.
Oral tradition, landmark navigation.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And more, there is a story of a character following that path, right? You know that, like, you've sat in on the story tapestries being woven, some of them, a lot of them, where you didn't do the weaving yourself, but you sat in and learned that cultural history as they're passing it down, because all the children do.
Yeah.
So, you know of some of the trials of Yern, and him having to go along the Blackhollow Pass and the things that he saw here, and etc. So, it tickles a little bit of your memory. You're not sure you'd be able to find it, but you know roughly where to look.
Okay. She'll stop and she'll turn back to you. So one last thing, if we're to continue the agreement we spoke of last time, I know you were interested in a temple.
Yes.
Who told you about this temple?
Blake didn't take notes because Blake is bad at taking notes. But Taruk would have cataloged in his repository what her name was.
I'm sorry, I'm asking about all the lore.
I'm terrible at taking notes.
Normally, when someone says, I don't have it in my notes, I'm just like, your character doesn't remember, but no. Taruk's
No, fucking
special.
keen mind.
Fucking special.
There was an elven girl as part of this tapestry weaving thing down the cave from. I'll find out her name. I don't remember offhand, but I can check. She asked me to find out about this lost temple because her family, like something family, I don't know.
That's very helpful and specific. I appreciate that.
Well, she was going to give me a little bit more information about what is around here and the challenges and the dangers if I were to provide a map of how to get to this temple.
I might have an idea of where it is.
Excellent.
I've never been there personally, but I have heard tale of where it might be. And usually, unlike on most of these other worlds, our oral traditions tend to be more accurate. So
I've heard.
yeah, helps when you live a long while. So I'll see what I can do, see if I can recall a bit more of the legend.
I will give you her name as well when I check.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
She just kind of gives you a terse nod and then just walks.
And as you start to walk off, Taruk's gonna send Volks up the chimney
Okay.
Is he so
and
close?
get a
How big is Folks?
up down about 3 foot high, 4 foot in length, 4 foot longest.
Are you sending Are you sending Volks like into the chimney, or are you just getting an
Trying to
shot
get
of the
up
cavern?
out.
The
of the
chimney is
cavern.
not wide enough.
Lame.
Yeah.
That doesn't unfortunate.
It is carved wide enough, but there are enough catches for water and different kind of weaves up and out, just to keep rainwater from pouring down into the cavern, etc. It's just not quite big enough for
I get it, but I'm
portals.
still unhappy.
Too fucking bad, I guess.
How big are the escape tunnels?
About big enough for 2 people to walk side by side.
So I could get folks to there.
Okay.
Before we bed down, Taruk's gonna find Thramless. Would you do me a favor?
What's
Would you accompany me while I try to get an aerial shot of where we are?
Sure.
Just so I do not get killed.
Side note, the woman who you were talking to, who said to find this information
Right.
for her aunt, her name was Kai, Kai, and her aunt, who she was speaking of, is Sinta, Tsintah.
T.S. what?
Tsintah. Sinta.
A.H.
The other story keepers, if you would like to write these in your notes as well, were Yanaha and Chuli.
Yenaha?
Yanaha, Yanaha, and Chuli, Chooli.
I probably shouldn't write those last ones down because I don't know.
Yanaha, Chuli, Sinta, and Kai were the names. You're fucking welcome.
Thank you.
Write better notes next time.
Would you...
Yes.
Alright, thank you. I used most of everything I had during that fight not to die, so... actually, pretty much everything. I mean, I have a couple tricks that will not ever be exhausted, but all of my exhaustibles, I spend everything. Well, including the healing afterward.
Yeah.
Anyway, the whole way out the escape tunnel, Taruk is just rambling about the shit, like random plants and minerals and like all the random stuff that they've been studying.
Mm-hmm.
Just like rambling on, unless told to shut up.
No, actually, throughout this
How much are you
cave
actually listening?
completely.
Really?
Yes.
Roll me a science check. Both of you roll me a science check, actually. You to understand and you to be understood.
Good thing I'm expertise in that. 13.
No, I'll leave it as intelligence. I was almost going to make it a charisma science check
For me.
for you.
Thank you for not.
You're welcome. What'd you get?
Would have been so
7.
7.
Actually, I think it's fair to make it a charisma science check as much as I
think
hate
I'm
it.
gonna do that.
It's a 10 then.
It's a 10.
7 and 10.
So, you're rambling, and you keep getting sidetracked on different things while you're in the middle of an explanation and not, like, paying attention to, like, oh, I should finish this explanation so they know what I'm actually talking about.
Right.
And it's not quite connecting. He's very fun to listen to.
Also,
He
the
hasn't
accent
necessarily-
gets harder to understand the more excited he gets.
Yeah. it's
And I'm
almost-
assuming on various occasions,
Accent's so
Ramus
thick.
is like grabbing you and moving you sideways to get you away from other things.
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. He does get very difficult to understand at times, but you get a little bit of knowledge of Vomar. You get a little bit of knowledge of like how things are different from a lot of the rest of the galaxy. It's nothing you didn't really know before, but you have a deeper understanding for some of these things. So you get something, but nothing really new.
Yeah.
And then once we get to the exit, I'm going to send Volk straight up and try and get an aerial shot.
Okay.
And I'm also going to just try and like, basically this part of making this map when I'm underground is trying to keep track of like how far we're going in what direction. Just based off of like, I don't know, a little RPM tracker on Volks's
Right.
treads.
Right.
And then, do the math to figure out and rough estimate of direction. Because I don't actually have key mind. I can't just be like, oh, there's north
Exactly.
and adjust to that. So like,
No, yeah.
it's a little off, but
So, as you send Volks up and you get kind of a picture. Can you see through Volks' eyes while you're down on the ground, or do you have to like? He doesn't have to come down and download that.
correct.
To
I can Wi-Fi connect to his senses basically.
Great, fantastic.
Wi-Fi bug.
No, like literally, it's
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
because it's technology. I can
It's-
wirelessly link to him.
there's something wrong with that one.
Yeah, I can also actually just take over his body and get actions and reactions and bonus actions in his body.
That's fucking terrifying.
It's weird. It's weird.
That's fucking terrifying.
Um,
But
Makes me think of Love, Death, and Robots.
a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. But you get kind of an aerial view. The area where you're at in the tunnel, you had to go like straight south down that tunnel, south and up, and you're about maybe a third of the way up a mountain. The tunnel that you're going through is directly underneath one of the larger peaks. So you are under so much rock. And you don't feel like you've gone down much at all. You just like cut through into underneath a mountain. You kind of send Volks up and you can see actually from this angle, actually roll me a perception check through Volks, please.
I touched it. I'm gonna use a different die. Please don't hate me. Okay, 20.
Okay.
So I was about to be like, you cheated with that one.
Just perform better.
That would have been worse.
Okay.
20.
Okay, sure. Maybe it was good of you to cheat on your dice. But
Yes.
regardless, as you're kind of looking up and getting a lay of the land, you see kind of this discrepancy in the shape of the mountain on the eastern side. As you were coming down, you couldn't, you weren't very close to the mountains themselves. You could see like the broad,
Right.
spectrum of the continent, but you couldn't really see the
Details of
the details of the
peaks.
mountains. And as you're closer to it, you can see where A lot of the vegetation has grown over. Bits of the mountain feel very geometric, very square. Not
Too
like
many sharp edges and
yeah, a
clean
lot of
lines
small
and-
sharp edges, and you can see what looks to be some kind of ruin, large ruin, like not a single castle, but a series of buildings. You can't, unless you're sending Volks like into there, because it's very grown over. But you can see the evidence of a civilization on the side of this mountain, far up and on the east side. So you're not quite directly underneath it yet.
right.
You will be by the end of tomorrow, but
Interesting.
Is it the night sky? Is it still daytime?
it's about dusk.
It's about dusk.
It's about dusk.
Is it possible to see the stars?
They're just barely kind of peeking
Okay.
through. You can see like the brightest ones, and it probably if you stay out here for another 20-30 minutes, you'll start to see more. Pardon. But, you know, it's starting to be night.
Okay.
But it probably takes a good 30-40 minutes to get a nice lay of the land, just with like having to get a good position, send Volks up, get kind of around the mountain, match
Oh,
that
yeah,
to your
the-
maps. It
Also,
took you
this
about 30 minutes
Volks'
walking
speed
to
is
get
slow.
there. Yeah, it took
Volks'
you
speed is slow, so
about 30 minutes walking to get there. It'll be another 30 minutes back, so you're out of the cave for about an hour and a half total.
okay.
So by the time he's finished, it is nighttime.
Pretty much,
Okay.
yeah.
Could you do me a favor?
What?
Picture of the sky.
Oh yes. Just looks up. Like Volks is still descending it. He just. Any particular part of the sky or?
Whatever you can get.
Okay.
And they're still looking forward.
Panoramic.
Great.
Yeah, basically getting a panoramic of the night sky from where we can
Nice.
see.
Nice.
Is there a reason, or just to have for later, or trying
I'm
to find a
trying-
star?
More akin to finding a star, but more like trying to find a home.
I could probably find that.
I will do the list of numbers that is my home world.
Do you have that document? I gave you the screenshot.
I didn't see an actual set up series of numbers, but
I know the universe decently well, the stars at least,
I'm pretty chill with the universe.
or know what files to reference to find a planet in the sky in the stars. May take a couple days of like finding what it's near, finding our
Right.
our position, so that what it might look
Right.
like from our angle. But within a
okay.
few days, I could probably figure that out.
There is Voloth 7 and Voloth 12. Do those are connected?
I have
Sounds-
a typo.
You have a typo.
I have a typo.
You have a typo.
Yeah. Everything else in this, everything else in the document says Voloth. The top of the title just says both. It's supposed to be Voloth.
Ah,
You are correct.
so it is both.
It's
No, it's
Voloth.
Voloth.
Oh,
You
it
were
is Voloth.
correct,
Okay.
but I have a typo in the title.
Cool.
Give me a few days. I can probably cross-reference some things and figure out what star in the sky is.
The actual like designation. So, for reference, it is in the Voleth system.
Mhm.
That is the star. Is Voleth. 7 refers to the planet in orbit. The designation for Voloth is A46T.
4016.
For Voleth 7, yes, is A46T. Which make a science check for me.
Yeah. A46T.
Oh, 46T.
Yeah.
Not 4016.
Yeah.
46.
T.
4016. That's a way to say that
Yep.
number.
It's a wrong way to say that number.
It is incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling 4d16s.
Yes.
Oh, not good at 11.
11.
Off the top of my head, I don't.
You're not
recognize
quite
it.
sure what that means. You know it has something to do with, like, that code has something to do with, like, inhabitability, but you're not quite sure what it means. You know that T at the end means terrestrial, which means a solid planet, but that's all you know, science-wise.
Okay.
So, but
I will do some research. For now, I'll just give you a picture of the. Do you have like a computer I can?
No.
A little harder. I don't have a printer with me. I could maybe make Volks into a
I
printer.
was gonna say you'd be your mobile printer and print stuff out of his ass.
Is Volks a transformer?
That would probably take more time than Sword. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
you could at least show it to them on, like, your tablet.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
but I'm under the assumption that they want it for like keepsake.
For sure, for sure.
So that's
I
not
will
a long-term
dissuade
solution.
that idea.
But Volks comes down onto the ground.
Thank you, my friend.
It's a little robot.
Hello,
Volks.
Volks.
Cute though.
I should have. If there's while he's descending, if there's like other little plants and things I can just take a couple samples of, I'm just gonna grab some
Okay.
random shit.
Roll
Anything I don't think I've
Nature.
already gotten a
nature?
Does
sample of.
anything
I think
look
it's science now.
Science. I'm
Um,
getting used to it, okay?
26.
26. You find some that you recognize from that first section of the book, and so you grab them for cross-referencing, whatnot. If you would like, you could grab seeds for them as well. There are a couple of that are, because you're getting into early fall. There are a couple that have, fruited
Sure.
out. You can grab some seeds.
Sure.
But,
I can study how the seeds work.
indeed.
Different seeds grow in different ways, so thank you for keeping me company.
Of course.
I'm glad I have not been attacked by anything like a dragon yet.
One more perception check, just for you guys.
I am very distracted by my new samples. I got a 12.
12. Okay.
Cool.
Volks comes down.
Okay. We should probably head back. Maybe a little quicker because we should probably be resting by now, I think. I'll spend a couple charges of air to try and expedite our
Okay.
walking a little bit. Power walk back.
What does that look like when you expend air?
So just a little bit of a hiss, but mostly it's just like the din of like just general like machinery sound just gets a little bit louder.
Okay.
It's compensating for not having backup oxygen. But you don't know that. You don't really understand.
You just know that
I get
like,
a little bit louder.
normally the Mayshar have like the anemone hair tentacles.
Mhm.
Some of his, as he's described, have been replaced by
Mechanical
ones, and
lookalikes. They
every
don't
once in
really-
a while there's kind of a hiss and like a brrr from some of them. But you don't know what that means.
And since Mayshar do not like have lungs to breathe, there's not like panting or anything. It's just like a little bit of look of tiredness
Yeah.
Okay.
more than anything. Yeah, that's part of why he can talk non-stop, is because he doesn't have to actively inhale.
Perpetual
How
state.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
There are jokes that I'm not going to make about that. You're welcome. But
Anyway,
you head back. As you guys are approaching back into the cavern, most everyone has kind of bedded down for the night. A lot of the lanterns have been blown out. The fire has been banked some just to cut down on the light, not the warmth.
Yeah, during this time I was sitting in camp and filling out paperwork and just kind of scratching my head and look over at Hayes and just like, Hayes, why the fuck am I doing this?
You
Why-
just got 2 gold.
Why,
Sorry.
why am I doing homework? I haven't done homework in years, and yet I'm doing it for someone that I don't know if I like?
I suppose these troops paying you, you're not just answering.
Yeah, no, I know. Gold's nice, but I'm also like, is it worth it?
It's up to you. If you need a raise, you gotta go talk to them.
About this time, the person who's supposed to be taking first watch walks back into the cavern.
Oh, you're back. You're up for watch.
Sorry, that's my fault. I needed to get an aerial shot, so I knew where we were. And I didn't want to get killed by random creatures.
That's usually a good thing not to die. Yeah, I can appreciate that.
All of you go sleep.
Actually, Hayes was gonna do a quick thing while you guys were out as well, possibly before our conversation. But
Mm.
I would have gone kind of around one of the stalagmites or
Yes,
tights.
mites.
Mites go up.
Mites.
Yep, because they might reach the ceiling of the
Uh,
tights.
You might trip on them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I
stand
have
on my teeth.
a letter M looks like stalagmites.
that is fair. I
That's
always
how I always
forget.
remember.
Yeah.
I always forget the
Yeah.
And the stalactites
Stand
hold
mighty
tight.
on- off the
Yeah,
ground.
that makes
Tight
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yay, mnemonics.
All right. So I go around the other side of the stalagmite for a bit of privacy. And Hayes will actually go and kind of look around to make sure that he's alone first.
Perception.
Mm.
Oh my god. That's a 7.
Okay,
Super.
you're alone.
He thinks he's alone at least. We'll see if that's
You're
the
alone.
case. Yep. He goes and kind of fidgets with the little gem on his chest, trying to get it to function. No. And then, hello. Probably just getting static.
Yeah, you kind of mess with it a little bit, and you are getting static, and you get just like the tiniest glimmer of like, oh, was that it? No. Like the spirit box. It's like the spirit box where you think you've got something, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't. You don't got nothing. But
Just kind of smack it a little. Maybe not. Unfortunate. And returns over to camp with you once he realizes something's not
like-
okay.
I gave Taruk a compliment. What is this? What growth feels like? It hurts. It hurts my chest. Oh, there they are.
Yeah, we bed
So
down.
Hayes
Yeah.
pulls out his counselor glasses. Well, you see.
Mhm.
indeed. But as you bed down for the
Mhm.
first watch of the evening, we are going to take a quick bio break.
Yeah.
We will come back in a few minutes. For you guys, it'll be like 2 seconds. But
Whee.
yeah,
The
Yeah.
pause button is for.
pause button.
Yes.
We're just pausing the internet.
And we are back.
We are.
Remember when I said I couldn't remember
They remembered.
my stupid announcement at the beginning?
Mhm.
Except it's not a stupid amount.
It's not a stupid
It's actually
announcement. It's
rude.
great announcement. You may notice, if you've been following us from the beginning, all of our icons and all of our stuff has changed because the fantastic Ariana Jones has made us a wonderful, wonderful logo that we have stickers on our water bottles, and it's going to go on my car when I get a new car. That'll happen in the next 50 years, I'm sure.
At some point in 50 years.
At some point. But we've got stickers, we've got logos. I'm very excited.
Yes.
It's a very, very sexy logo, very shiny.
It is
I'm
very.
very happy.
Finally put 2 years of art school to work. Yay!
Woo! Yay!
Proud of you!
Proud of you.
Proud of you! Oh, we need to do the thing as well, but that can wait.
Or you do the thing.
So, do the thing.
Julie, do the thing.
Not
But-
that thing!
So, coming back from a night's rest, or coming into a night's rest,
Oh.
for,
Same hat.
yeah.
We're so close.
First one.
First watch, please roll me a perception check for the several hours you will be awake.
That's great. It's amazing. It's a 3 on the die.
Yeah, I was like,
I figured.
yeah.
It's a total of 7.
Like, that didn't look like double digits.
Yeah.
Total of 7.
Well,
So-
it makes sense for what I planned on doing.
Where are you taking this watch? How are you?
Initially, I was going to start the watch on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to actually cast Detect Magic and walk around the cavern, see if anything piques my interest.
Okay. Was as in you're not doing that, or
No,
you
still
are
doing
going
it.
to do that?
Still
okay.
doing it.
Okay, wasn't quite sure.
It's a mercy spell.
Ouchie.
That's 6 hit points gone.
Ouchie.
Ooh.
6 hit points into the void.
Oof, indeed. But
He likes it, though.
he likes it that way.
Or they.
Casts Detect Magic. How does that perception look to you? Generally, when you detect magic, how do you perceive it?
For Thramless, it would basically be motes of light.
Okay.
For those who happen to be in their aura, they would actually be points of congealed blood.
Great.
Will actually focus on magical items.
Gross.
Mhm.
Okay. Awesome. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Edgy.
They're all about blood. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I
But I'm not
understand.
sorry.
Yeah.
You're bloody.
But yeah, so for casting the spell, it's a verbal and schematic components.
Okay.
With every uttered word, you can actually see more blood coming from their mouth, just drifting out into space.
I'm sorry I asked.
You knew what this
That was
was.
your first
I
mistake.
I know. You cast Detect Magic in the worst way possible.
This is
All of us feel icky.
all of you were asleep.
Yeah. But we all wake up feeling icky later.
I have nightmares. I don't know why.
None of you feel a thing. Is the
I
thing.
know.
None of you feel a thing.
But you cast
It's
it,
not creepy at
you
all.
kind of sweep the cavern. Besides your party, besides the caravan, there's nothing magical in the room. Well, you can see like the tiniest, faintest glimmers of like some of the graffiti. It looks like somebody was like practicing some kind of glyph, and it's not like even fully formed. It's just kind of like a glimmer of like, oh, that's, kind of has tied into some of the magical threads that weave through the world, but it's faint enough that it's not even worth noting. But you kind of take a walk around the cavern. You walk past parts of the caravan itself. Obviously, Amber and Lila's cart is full of magic shit because that's kind of her job, her business. She's transporting a lot of magic items. You notice a couple of items on certain, like, members of the Songbird Circle they didn't set up a tent. They're all just kind of like, sleeping out around their cart, on bedrolls and whatever, and a lot of them are carrying magic items, magic weapons. They protect themselves. Even Acorn, the little one, has a necklace of some kind that is, the pendant is magical. But kind of walk past them. Valisor and Malice, the two galactic members of the coalition, they are in their not carts, it's not a cart, they're like transport that they have, their hover carts, and those seem to block magical detection. It's just the metal is thick enough that it blocks any kind of, like, you can tell there is a void. So whether or not there's magic stuff in there, whether or not that's intentional in the creation of the thing, or if it's just a side effect of, basically driving a car around, that the metal is just thick enough that, you know, you can't tell. But other than that, there's nothing really threatening.
Okay.
It's just kind of, you know, you take a note of what everyone's got on them.
I have a ring that's glowing magical.
Okay.
That's the only thing that's
For-
magic on me.
For me, you would sense the folded up spear. It kind of has like a very light magical glow, more
Okay.
like just because of the material it's made out of.
Mm.
The backpack that she has on her back, the weird looking
Chest.
Mm.
glows very magically, as well as the bracers on her arms.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's pretty much all she's carrying, as far as I can remember, magically.
Mm-hmm. Haze?
For Haze, it would mainly just be you get bits emanating from his staff. As it is partly magical and partly mechanical.
Okay.
I guess. So probably mainly.
No, like, big surprises.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And well, so for the viewers, what's going on is I can cast any ritual known or any ritual within the Oracle spell list as a ritual spell as long as I pay a blood price. That blood price is equal to the spell level times a d8 or x d8s per level. So whether I know the spell or not, it is always available to me. However, I lose X amount of life points equal to the die roll
That's rough.
until I take a short rest.
Okay.
I suppose right
Fucking
before,
terrifying.
Yeah.
right before you're gonna go to bed, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's not the
Yeah.
worst time.
But you spend some time wandering about like that. You get distracted, particularly by the hover carts. Like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what's actually in there. You
Mhm.
can't quite tell. And you feel like you've kind of slackened on your actual watch, and you kind of head up and look around, and nothing has entered the
Okay.
cavern. You don't really see
Yeah,
anything.
I'll have Thuzu as a second set of eyes because I know I'm distracted.
Okay. Then go ahead and roll that with advantage. So, well, roll
Roll it.
another die to the same.
Ooh, it's an 18.
19?
With my wisdom or with Thuzu's?
With Thuzu's.
Thuzu's wisdom.
So I guess it's less aiding and more
Yeah, that's a 17.
17? Okay. Yeah. Thuzu kind of confirms that, you know, nothing has happened, but and your watch goes mostly uneventfully.
Okay.
Who was next?
I think that it
It was Haze.
Yeah, I think it was Haze and then Cammy and then me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say after a little while you'll feel a rough hand on your shoulder.
Oh, hello.
It's your turn.
Okay. Get up. Give a nice stretch. I can go and get some. Why are you more bloody than before?
Oh, don't look more bloody. There's the area a little bit more red.
It's
You feel a tiny bit sticky in their presence.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
One of the
The red
interesting
tide
side
is
effects
upon
of
us
my
all.
abilities.
I hate it so much.
What's it called? Is it humid? Is it humid in here?
Yes.
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 And that only lasts for 10 minutes. So that would have probably gone away a while ago.
Oh, okay.
You still feel a little sticky. You don't know why.
That's concerning.
They did walk near you, so.
Yeah. Alright, I get up, I stretch my legs, and say, well, off to bed with you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Nothing happened.
I hope I don't. Okay. I would hope so. And I go and I do a little patrol around the place.
Roll a perception check.
No, we're going with ducky dice.
Ducky dice.
That's it.
Duck dice. Woo.
Roll duck on it. Ooh, that's good. That's good.
You've been blessed by the ducks.
The ducks.
I've been blessed by the duck of 18.
Oh,
Yeah.
18 total.
18 total.
Excellent. You kind of wonder about how do you set your watch? How do you? Because you got about 2 hours to kill.
Let's see. He would just kind of make sure that everything's on the up and up, that everything kind of seems Good. Eight. I would be curious. Is Thuzu sleeping with you?
Well, Thuzu never sleeps.
Is he just like lay on top of you?
So
Cuddleotls.
So
Cuddleotl.
Expert.
So Hayes is curious, and he's gonna cast Silent Image to make maybe a tiny little spaceship float near Thuzu to see if he'll chase it.
You're trying to laser pointer
A space line.
a space axolotl. All
Yes.
right.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
He's got 2 hours to blow. He doesn't want to sit in his own thoughts the whole time.
Can I have you roll an animal handling? Do we still have animal handling?
I don't
Is
even
that
know.
a thing on here?
I don't think it is.
No. Used to be a wisdom
I
check.
would say,
Persuasion.
Persuasion?
honestly, yeah.
I think that would be the closest.
Persuasion is the closest.
Ducks don't fail me now.
Blessing of the dog.
Same. Interesting. 15 total. Does
They'd probably wait a little bit just to see if it got closer.
Ambush predator.
Its eyes get
You would
huge.
kind of like make it go closer and then further away and then kind of go buzz right by it.
As it would get close, Thuzu would definitely almost do a semi-lunge for it.
Alligator lunge.
It's so fucking
It's like
cute.
punching with a
Oh, I
cat.
love it.
I'll just continue to kind of play with Kuzu, and then like if he gets any close, I'll see, or any closer, I'll kind of see if I can give him a little scratch under the chin.
Yeah, he'd
Paying
probably
a lot of attention.
he'd probably play.
Hmm.
Or yeah, actually, did I don't remember.
As you're
Thuzu
doing
was
this, as you're kind of
neutral.
distracted by Thuzu, you hear kind of a almost a shuffle behind you, like towards the center of the camp.
I immediately freeze and look back.
You go look in that direction.
I look in that direction. If I can't see anything, he would
It's
get
a
up
little
to.
blocked from where you are.
You-
The sound seems to be coming from the other side of the Songbird Circles cart on the inside of the camp.
On the inside of the camp by the Songbird Circle. I would make the silent image go away and be like, 1 moment, Thuzu. And go and take a peek into the disturbance and kind of stealth over to
Moving silently, going real slow.
check it out. Oh wait, I will cast guidance on myself. I believe I can use that for stealth.
It's gonna be
yes?
eight.
Yeah.
It gives me, I think, 1d4.
Yep.
Cool. I'll cast guidance on myself. Oh, I fucking need it. This is so bad.
Mm.
That's a 9 plus.
You are the chosen of the dogs.
5. It's a 10.
You've angered the ducks.
I have angered the ducks. The ducks are angry that I'm being sneaky. I trip over something and go, fuck.
No, you just, as you're walking around the side of the cart, you kind of like set your hand up to steady yourself, and you kind of hit some of like, there's like a couple of pots that are hanging. They had drying from, they'd made dinner, and so they had some pots hanging. And they kind of like into each other. And you kind of creep around the edge, and you can see kind of hunched over one of the dwarf gentlemen in the Songbird Circle, over one of their bags, Acorn. The little kid is digging through, and she's got a like a couple of cookies in one hand and like one like halfway to her mouth, and is like staring at you like wide-eyed. Like terrified.
Oh, we have a thief in our midst.
Shouldn't be doing that, should we? Hey, put it. Okay, you can have that one, but put the rest of them back. Put that. Hey.
I knew.
Drop
I knew.
Drop it.
Drop it.
them both.
Fine, you can have them, but get out of that bag.
And one of the gentlemen kind of rolls over and is like, "What happened?" She like runs away with the cookies, like around the cart and then like back around like behind you, like up into it, and kind of like crawls under one of the benches where she's got her nebula set up, and like kind of just huddles into her little alcove, just like staring at you, eating the cookie.
What a power move.
Acorn.
I adore Acorn.
Oh yeah.
Thuzu tried to sneakily take one of the cookies.
No stealth.
That is a 7.
She sees Thuzu, drops the cookies immediately, like grabs him, hug him. Just like Thuzu is now, because you,
Cuddleotl.
after
Already
her
established.
horrible night in the lost episode,
Yeah.
you would let her kind of cuddle with Thuzu. Thuzu is now just like
Favorite
her
stuffed
personal
animal.
hug toy. Like,
Yeah.
she
Favorite
just
stuffed animal.
immediately lunges for it. It's like, you're mine.
I just imagine
trying to reach for the cookies.
I just imagine Thuzu just like
Am
tongue out trying to reach the cookie.
Yeah.
I within 30
Like your
feet?
ear instead.
Yes, you're within 30 feet, I'm pretty sure.
I cast Mage Hand. And I have a little ghostly hand go out and snatch the cookies while she's distracted.
Roll sleight of hand. Is sleight of hand still a thing? Now I
It-
gotta look every
it
time.
should be.
Sleight of arcane.
No.
No.
No, what?
I just put it
Stealth.
under stealth, yeah.
Athletics? Or stealth.
Stealth.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, ducks. Work with me. Wait.
Sleight of arcane.
Yes. Actually, yeah, it would be stealth if you're proficient, plus your spellcasting mod,
Plus spellcasting mod.
Yeah.
rather than dexterity.
Okay, so you're plus 10.
Still roll a natural one.
Not 1, so it's an 11.
Natural one is not an automatic failure, I guess.
It's an 11.
Do you have
So, like-
do you have expertise in stealth?
I do.
Nice.
No, not expertise, I don't think.
Double
Proficiency.
proficiency.
No, just regular proficiency.
Yeah,
So how do you have a plus 10?
You said that it was stealth plus.
No, so
Instead
So
of dex,
so-
use your wisdom, your spellcasting modifier.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you were saying that plus.
yeah, so it'd be like plus 7 instead.
Yeah, so if you're proficient in stealth, you would be adding your proficiency, just your proficiency modifier plus the different thing.
Different
Yeah,
stat.
spellcasting
Different stat.
modifier plus proficiency if proficient in stealth.
If you weren't proficient, it would just be your spellcasting modifier.
So wouldn't it be the ability mod?
Yeah, it's-
plus the
yeah.
stealth?
Yeah, so it'd be
Not plus the
you're-
stealth mod.
no, not plus the stealth mod. So it's basically just swapping wisdom. It's swapping dexterity for wisdom in this regard because you're using your spell in order to grab it instead.
That is phrased very weird.
It is. I did
Yeah,
it
I'll
terribly.
I'll just say it's botched.
Great.
So it'd be just plus 7.
You
for
managed
roll
to get
total.
it. It's just she sees you, but she's
Give me a powerful enemy this night.
still hugging Thuzu. Like she has a greater prize. She's not letting the Cuddleotl go.
Thuzu will
But
not be
she
free.
is just staring you down.
I
As you take
sigh and I realize these cookies are licked anyways. There's nothing I can do about it, and I just have the hand release it. And I just have the hand because it's more exaggerated. Just
She just gives you this like, I've won, bitch.
The trouble with Acorn's 6, 7 years old.
Yeah, ish.
Yeah.
Ish.
The troubles of youth.
as you are, soldier. And I go and check out the camp and just sigh.
His would be a terrible dad. Gives in to the children at every turn.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not wrong. So he just kind of double checks over the camp, make sure.
Couldn't remember if Acorn was a halfling or a gnome. Acorn is a halfling.
That's what my notes say, anyways.
Bittiest halfling. But indeed.
I think Acorn's roughly the same size as.
An acorn?
Well, no, as Thuzu.
Yeah. Yes. No. They're roughly the same size.
Yeah.
So it's like having a body-sized plush
Mm.
Yeah, it's like
that
Duzu's
wiggles and licks
not
you.
trying hard to escape.
Yeah. But anything else you'd like to do with your watch?
After a bit of just silence or just probably occasional little giggles and shuffles with Acorn
It is
and Thuzu.
Way past her bedtime, but
Mhm.
you know.
It's alright. She's got sugar in her too, so she's gonna be
Oh
okay.
yeah, there's no
Yeah.
helping it. There's
No.
no helping it now.
He's accepted this.
She'll doze in the cart later.
Mm.
Hayes will kind of go off to a side of the cavern away from people and go with his usual nightly ritual when he has a little bit of free time.
Okay.
And cast Silent Image once more, but this time in the form of a short-haired, kind of pixie-cut looking Luantois like himself. And just sighs. I hope at some point you'll be on the receiving end of this. But we'll see. It's all good. It's going to be a long journey, I feel. But I hope to see you soon. He just kind of savors a little moment, and as just kind of seems like she's just kind of sitting there, glancing around the cavern. And he just kind of goes for a hug, but realizes kind of going through, and he's just like... And continues his watch, just silently, in thought. Continue?
Who is next?
I believe it is good
Cammy.
Mistress Cammy.
You go working out?
I go and kind of lightly tap your shoulder.
I'm up already.
Been awake for a while.
Yeah, off and on.
Be aware that little Acorn's a little cookie thief, but she's awake around here somewhere.
Oh yeah,
Be
I've been in on the take of
herself.
that too for last night also.
Yeah, she's shifty.
Oh yeah, she's got a bright future ahead of her. Bright future in crime.
Bright future in the dark.
Yep. Right.
Well,
Episode
Okay, is
title.
bright future in the dark.
Bright futures and dark.
Is it just me or do you feel sticky too?
I look over and I realize Thremless is kind of close. I'm like, realizes things back from when he was walking around the place, and he's like,
You know what? It's better that I don't ask. Go to bed.
"Is he a humidifier?
Lower the voice.
Is he a humidifier?"
I don't know.
His internal temperature's only 500 degrees.
Is that all?
He's only
Yeah.
corner of the earth. Just kidding.
You go up to 500 before you go to the hospital.
I'm going to get some rest.
Yeah. Go to bed.
And he gets curled up, and Hope kind of looks to see if Thuzu's still indisposed, which he probably is.
Oh, for sure.
Will be the rest of the night.
Yeah. Oh, poor Thuzu.
He looks very snuggled.
Oh, that he does. I wouldn't. That he does.
He'll tire her out, I hope.
Yeah.
Most terrifying creature you've ever met.
Hmm.
Most adorable creature you've
Yeah.
ever met.
Oh,
They
yes.
come as a package deal.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Little help me arms.
See, now I want art of like total awooified Fromless and like the most terrifying Thuzu you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
I want it swapped.
Kill them from this.
Baby, I'll do it.
I'll do anything for you.
Honestly, if anyone makes any character, like any
Character
fan art of this
I
show,
would die.
Yeah.
I'm kissing you on the mouth. Anyway,
Unless, of course, you don't want that.
unless of course,
Yeah.
but
Henry Crabgrass would approve of the unless.
Hmm.
Consent. Anyway.
Consent is very important.
Consent is very important.
So
Yeah. Can't
Perception.
Yeah.
On your watch. Perception.
Perception.
You've ruined me.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. That is a 22.
22.
22.
Nothing really happens.
Mhm.
How do you sit your watch?
She would probably She probably would go over to this platform area just so she can get a better perspective of the.
The stalagmite that's been like cut
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
She'd probably go over there. She would set down her pack and she would begin just pulling out little herbs. She would actually she'd look around, make sure there's no one in the vicinity, and she would take off her Clixio mask, pull down her hood. Oh, it gets hot under there. Let her braids go down, and she would start working on a little bit of her refilling her healer's kit with the backpack.
Okay.
Yeah.
After about an hour or so,
Mm-hmm.
you also hear a little bit of shuffling
Mm-hmm.
behind you. Shuffling of teeny tiny feet. And little Acorn kind of gets up onto like the bottom part of the stalagmite because it's kind of like stepped.
Mm-hmm.
And like kind
She-
of like crawls up onto the next.
Shouldn't be up this late, love. As she helps her up.
Like kind of sleepy
Yeah.
grabs at you.
Yeah, she pulls her in and holds her tight.
And just kind of like
Eating too many
nestles in.
cookies.
She has finally let go of Thuzu.
Yeah.
Who's probably eating the cookies?
Yeah.
Probably.
I imagine like as she's squeezing him, he's just like going down.
Yeah. They were only a raisin. I don't know how you feel about that.
It's
But
completely ruins Thuzu's diet.
Diet of space and sunlight?
Yeah.
Yep.
indeed.
Yeah.
Raisins.
But
Photosynthesis, yeah.
Not in my space, Axolotl.
Yeah.
she just kind of like curls up on your lap
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of like watches as you're, fiddling with stuff, kind of reaching around her and
Yeah.
eventually just falls asleep.
Yeah, she'd probably start like, and this one's named this one's named this. Yeah. This one will give you the shits.
This
Don't eat
one
this
I
one.
plan to stick in Taruk's.
You didn't hear that from me though, this is all a dream. But she would
Shits.
that's really not good.
But
Yeah. She would probably just explain what each one does, and she would have like if she's awake enough, she'd have her help with like the mortar and pestle and
she is not. After
Yeah.
like a couple of minutes of just like
Mhm.
explaining what things are, she falls asleep.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Cammy kind of moves the hair out of her eyes and just sits and thinks, and as has her arm wrapped around, she just kind of fiddles with her with the bracelet, particularly carved and made for her bracelet that certain someone had given to her. Thinking about their last encounter, does he hate her?
probably.
Yeah, probably. You should have known better. Why didn't you listen to me? Why do you take their side?
As you're kind of thinking all of these things, you feel a gentle pressure on your shoulder and the faint whiff of smoke. And after just a single second, it's gone. It felt reassuring in a way. Now's not the time for these thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Something your mother used to say to you comes to mind. Never listen to yourself after 9 p.m. You think all sorts of terrible things.
Yep. There's a lot of weird turns of phrase. Very specific time frames for a lot of these things too. Nothing good happens after 7.
Sure.
Yeah.
Never listen to yourself after
Yeah.
9 p.m.
And so she just kind of reaches up to the chest plate that used to be her mother's and just thinks of her a little bit. feels a little homesick.
The tapestry of relationships that has made up your life
Mm-hmm.
always pulls you in the strangest directions. But your watch goes uneventfully.
Yeah, she eventually, very quietly, very gingerly packs away her things.
Mm-hmm.
And then she very lightly puts on her backpack, carries Acorn over, puts her in bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just kind of does like a little light nudge with her foot to Taruk.
Thuzu's having extreme difficulties eating those cookies.
Great. Great.
He's
Dude,
choking
what
on
a-
him?
Just gnawing on them.
Well,
Yeah.
no, he's trying to bite down and he can't bite down on the cookies.
Oh, you poor beast.
Break them up for
Here.
him.
Oh, Christ. She
He
literally
needs
just
to
like,
absorb them.
yeah, she literally just kind of crushes them into smaller pieces. There, does that help?
Yes.
Good. Have I
See,
seen
I
anything?
love playing with other DMs because they'll just roll randomly to nerf themselves.
Yeah, it's funny.
They'll just like, I wonder if I fail at that.
Well,
I do!
considering I rolled a 3 and Thuzu has a -4 strength.
Oh, poor little guy.
Just gumming on them.
Yeah, just gumming on.
They're
Yeah.
not even like stale. They're just.
He's literally a
Just
space
soggy.
gummy, but if it can't fit in his mouth.
Anyway.
So,
Yeah, she just breaks them up. All right. Have I ever seen anything like this before? Like in the time I was with the Primals?
Oh, like Thuzu?
Like anything like Thuzu or...
Oh, hell, roll a science check.
Sure, why not? Ooh, 19 plus 6. That is a...
25.
25.
Space lizard.
Fucking space lizards. And then she goes over to... She gives Thuzu
Just
a...
leave it at that.
Yeah, no.
Space lizard.
Yeah, just kind of
That's a subtitle.
scritches Thuzu as he's eating, and then eventually goes over to Taruk and has a little tap.
by the way, it's Space Lizard parentheses Cuddleotl.
Correct.
That's the episode title. Yeah, he wakes up.
Yeah. You and the robot are up.
Anything I should?
No, pretty quiet.
All right.
There was a certain cookie thief that was running about, but she's since been put down.
That seems like a harsh punishment.
It was.
For stealing cookies, but if that's the custom around here, I mean.
Thievery is very frowned upon here on
Right,
Momola.
noted.
I put her to
Dang.
she's asleep.
Okay. I kind of figured it was not.
I don't know. You're kind of
I know.
you're a weird book to read.
Yep.
You're found at the
You're
back,
right.
you're found at the back of the bookstore. Is what I think.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good night.
I'm going to, as is the theme, set up on top of that step stool.
Yeah. Oh, before I go to bed, here's the half I got. It's more like a third. I'm not good at homework. It's in here. It doesn't go out here very easy. But yeah.
Would it be easier to do like an oral presentation?
Sure,
or-
probably. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
What have you done?
Oh no.
Do you know how much lore I'm gonna have to spout? You ask a dumb question. He
We're not
asks
gonna
me.
roleplay it in person.
I
No.
know, but like at some point,
At some point, it's gonna get out.
I'm gonna have to spout a bunch of dumb lore, and then I'm gonna have to remember it. It's gonna have to have implications.
Hi.
Basically, the goal is at some point to get proficiency in survival.
Okay.
Via constantly asking random questions.
Okay. Good. to
Anyway,
know.
I'm going to set up on top of that stalagmite step stool platform that's been made. Volks is going to basically hover around the camp like a vulture circling, but very slowly and making a humming noise, which is probably kind of annoying.
Mhm.
But I'm going to continue analyzing data from the day.
Okay. Roll perception for Volks.
Actually, I'm not going to do that.
You're not going to do that.
I'm going to attempt to draw, or paint again, rather.
Ooh.
Perception for Volks, you say?
Yes, I say.
That's a 12.
12. Okay.
And I'm keeping my ear open. But I'll set up like a little easel and attempt again to paint the dragon that eluded me last time.
Roll a...
Please draw Trogdor, please.
Other people said that's where he was headed for with the first bit.
Yeah,
That was the first.
It was the first draft.
Trogdor.
So, I guess when you go through your artistic process, when Taruk goes through his artistic process, does he focus more on accuracy and then stylization, or does he focus more on style and then detail?
I mean, accuracy is pretty important, so
Okay.
probably at least relative accuracy, and then embellishing where it makes sense to add the style on.
Okay. I'm gonna have you make a regular intelligence check, just for anatomy, detail.
Okay. Any sort of like advantage for referencing video, or
I will say if you're taking your time and you're looking at your
after the
references, you're
last
studying
failed
your
attempt,
references.
I'm taking some time.
Yeah, especially since your last attempt you were moving and probably not paying as much attention.
Yeah.
I will give you advantage for this.
Okay.
Congrats. You've talked.
Thank you.
No, did
How
not
bad was
matter.
Dragons elude me. I don't understand what these things are.
Did you draw a weird dragon?
6 with advantage.
Wow.
6.
I don't understand the anatomy of dragons. I don't understand the musculature. I don't understand like how their wings work.
You get caught up in the relation of
How are they flying?
The
Their bodies are
horns.
too heavy for the wings.
Yep.
I don't understand this.
according to all known laws of aviation.
I mean, honestly, dragons are so magically like entwined. It would make sense that, like, from a scientific perspective, outside of this world, it just wouldn't make sense.
They're the bumblebees of this universe.
Yeah, basically, it's like, how does
No one knows how they work.
They hover above the ground, their legs retract into their bodies, and they
yeah?
But you get caught up in the relation of the size of the eyes, to the horns, to the head, to like, you know, where does the skull end, and you get to a point where like you've put all this detail into that and the head looks great, and then you look at the rest of it and you realize that, okay, that has now blown out of proportion and my proportions for the rest of the dragon are way fucking off. And I don't even know where to start with all of that because this is really detailed and all of this is like basic sketch. And you start to kind of like try to figure that out, and that throws the head out of proportion, and it just gets frustrating. Can you tell I'm speaking from experience?
So basically, it looks like Thrumless's piece.
Yes.
100%. That's exactly
Okay.
it.
So I'm gonna give up on accuracy.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for the vibe of. I'm gonna go full like vibe painting on what it was like to be in the presence of a dragon, and
Okay.
just like try and turn the analytical brain off and just let the painting flow.
Go ahead and roll a. I'm gonna call that wisdom.
Okay, and do I get painter's supply proficiency?
Yes.
Okay. So 19.
19. The proportions are absolutely wrong, right? Like it is not an accurate depiction of a dragon. You
Right.
have pictures for that, but you kind of just like shut your brain off for a second, and you start with just this sweeping line in the back,
Go back
And
on my
then-
training of just like
yeah, and then
let
this,
the medium talk to me.
Exactly. You don't go for like the sketchy lines that kind of break up. It's like a single smooth line for the back and then a single smooth line for each of the wings. And just like that flow of this powerful creature. And you end up with this almost like ink wash sort of painting. Very stylized, gorgeous piece. And you could not show this to someone and say, this is what a dragon looks like. But
Right.
you could show this to someone and say, this is what a dragon feels like.
Right.
To be in the presence of. It's a gorgeous piece.
Honestly, takes a minute of looking at it, lights it on fire.
I was joking.
No, but seriously, like he now has the visual record of that thing, and he doesn't like it. Like he feels like it's a second best at what he wanted, and doesn't like it exists in a record, but he doesn't feel like it's good enough to stay.
It's an NFT now?
To stay. What?
Yeah.
It's an NFT now.
Oh god. Well,
Okay.
that's
anyway,
a much longer story than we have
Anyway,
time for.
yeah. So
You got
he's
4 hours?
basically just like that's not good enough for me to want to preserve in reality. It's preserved in records.
Like if Shalon decided that she didn't like to do art, and so
Well,
it would rather be a scholar, but she's really good at art.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll go. Actually, won't like light it on fire there, but we'll go toss it in the fire at the camp.
Okay.
And just kind of.
As you're looking up, you can see there are a couple of people who are, like, as you're walking up, nobody's, like, awake, but there are a couple of people who are, like, starting to rouse. You have spent your entire watch doing so.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It could have been worse.
As the night passes, Pace, in general, how do you sleep? How is your quality of sleep usually? What is,
Depends on
being here, being in this place?
It depends on if he is disturbed by other beings.
Kind of a light sleeper?
A little bit.
In general, when you do sleep deeply, do you dream?
Here and there. Probably not every evening, but
Tonight you do.
it's not good.
You settle down after your watch, to catch another quick little bit of sleep. Sleep broken up is not ideal, but it's enough to stave off exhaustion. You feel yourself pulled into almost a memory. It was one of those times you almost set the station on fire and you got it. You've got it handled. But the siblings are freaking out and someone says maybe we should just tell Mother, and absolutely not. There's this round of absolutely not. But as the smoke is clearing, you kind of wave it away. And as you kind of wave it away, so too do you wave away the memory. So too do you wave away your siblings that twist into smoke one after another in front of you. And you're frozen for a second as each of them dissipates, blows down the long hallway of the station, poorly lit, flickering lights, toward the soft, would-be welcoming light of the Talon Mother's rooms. The door is open. The door is never open. It is always locked, but the door is open. What do you do? Do you approach? In the wild scape of dreams where everything is possible and nothing is real and nothing has any consequences except they have all of them. and everything matters.
He kind of ponders for a moment. He looks back to where his siblings once were, just to make sure.
You look away, and you look back, and one sibling is there. The one you see all the time.
I run up to her and embrace her.
As soon as you touch her skin, she's dissipated. She's smoke. You turn around, and there she is again in your periphery, never really able to be looked upon. She's there.
Kind of just completely in disbelief would kind of drop to his knees and just kind of be like, this can't be real. This can't be real. This isn't happening.
You look down, you look back up. She is in the doorway of the Talon Mother's room, looking in toward the room.
Don't like that at all.
What do you do? She's taking a step into the room.
He sighs and he very cautiously approaches the door and takes a look in.
The wash of light from within is reddish. It seems to be bouncing off of all of Mother's various decoration. She likes red. She likes the color red. And gold. And black. Your sister takes another step into the room and is kind of looking around in wonder. None of you are allowed in here, and yet here she is.
I always love to push boundaries, don't you?
She turns back to you. She's not home.
She'll probably be back eventually.
But she's not home now.
Suppose we could go through a few things. She always keeps the best things for herself.
Hayes, listen to me. And for a second you blink. She doesn't look like she normally does. She looks older. She looks haggard. She looks damaged. She looks beaten and bruised and covered in dirt. And she kind of like reaches forward and reaches for your shoulders. Please, find the others. Please, please. They're in danger. Please.
Okay. How are you any like reaches for her hand to see if like actually you can touch?
You can. Listen, I'm not going to be here for much longer. Just listen to me. Everybody's in danger. Everybody is in danger. We're doing the wrong thing. We're doing the wrong thing. You can't keep... No one can keep listening to Mother, okay? You have to shut her out. You have to... I don't know, kill her. Something.
Kill her?
Yes.
Why?
I... It's a lot. I can't explain it. Just listen to me. Just believe me.
He kind of takes a step back.
Hayes! Our siblings are in danger. They're all in danger. You're in danger. You're actually probably the safest of all of us. Second thought. No, stay where you are. Don't come back. Don't.
I'd have to figure out how I could come back even if I wanted to.
Don't. If I can save one of you, I can save you. Don't. And she like kind of comes up to you and cups your face. Just wherever you are, stay. They can't find you. None of them have heard from you. If they can't find you, they can't hurt you. Please. And you feel her hands start to lose their corporealness.
No.
And you reach for her arms and your hands pass right through her.
I need you, please.
She completely fades away.
Don't leave me alone again.
So too does the Talon Mother's room. And then the bulkheads. And then the outer shell of the station, and you're just floating in space. Completely alone.
Ace. Wake up. Ace.
No, not. And he wakes up,
Hey,
kind
hey.
of in tears.
Hey.
You've slept in a bit. Everyone is already packing up their stuff.
Ace, you were talking. You alright? What happened?
Can
You were tossing and...
Sorry about
No.
that.
You're good. Everyone's up. Do you need a minute?
I do.
Right.
Sorry, I need to collect myself. That was... I need some time to think.
Take a lap. I'll get everyone up and running. She'll kind of give you a pat on the shoulder and...
Taruk, at that moment, Taruk comes, not running, but like walking with a purpose toward you. All right, so I need some advice.
Okay.
I need to add something to the list of questions. It's pertaining to dragons. I need to understand how their physiology and their musculature works because I cannot seem to understand this.
She is going around and she is like trying to like pseudo outrun Taruk, but also like trying to get everyone up and running and like
Okay,
The ridiculous...
using up an air charge, keeping up with Kane.
that's fair. Do we heal up to full?
Yes.
Okay.
The ridiculous...
You get a full rest. Full long rest.
Yay.
Congratulations. You get your spells and resources back. You had a eventful, uneventful evening.
Yeah.
This may be the last.
And I will try and get everyone as up and ready and get packed up as quickly as we can so we can get moving on the road.
You know that your next destination, should you make good time today, will be Steingrove, which is a small town along the pass that exists in the lower ruins of what was once a dwarven city. A dwarven city that was abandoned, before all of the bullshit with the DC happened. It was kind of a casualty of war where most people from Steingrove, the city, moved northward to...
Odia or to...
No. Fucking... the Dwarven city.
Calamar? Yeah.
My brain wanted to say Carrick Fergus, and I'm like, that's somewhere else.
That's
a different place.
That's a place I don't know.
But no, most people from Steingrove moved north to Calamar. But Steingrove is kind of it's a large trade town-ish. It's about town-sized.
Yeah.
Exists in like the lower parts of those ruins.
Okay, so
and has like rebuilt them to be a fairly nice little underground city. So.
Yeah, trying to get everyone up and running, and dragons are a funny thing. They flap their wings and then they fly. That's just how they work. I don't know how much more I can explain that to you.
I need more specific, musculature.
I've never actually I haven't actually touched their bodies.
Okay,
we
so we
usually
need
try
to
and
find the dragon.
We really shouldn't, because usually
A dead one would work. I'm good with a dead one. Although it should be a freshly dead one.
We'll do our best. If we happen to run into one on the Blackhollow Pass, what a miracle that would be.
Actually, I would with the dragon.
Oh, not you two. Okay.
We should go on the dragon hunt.
No, we shouldn't. There's so few of them left. We shouldn't actually hunt them.
Well, I'm not saying that we have to kill him. I'm just
They're
saying
also
if we find
sapient creatures.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we have. I'm not saying we do the killing. I'm just saying we should find one. I can talk to them and ask them how they're. I'm sure that they understand.
Sure. If we find one that's not going to eat us, then by all
I
means.
was going to say, I'm not sure they're really creatures of talk first monologue for 5 hours about their existence.
It depends on the ones you talk to. Some of them are fine. Some of them are. From what I've heard, there's been
maybe that the one that came to town the other day. If we offer to help with whatever is going on with the crazy rambling bit, then perhaps we can negotiate some information.
She seemed mentally unwell.
Yes.
Yeah. And
if we help her with that.
yeah, I don't know that she'll understand that we're helping her.
She seemed to regain lucidity at the end.
Sure, but
It is as long as we don't catch her in a bad
yeah,
point of time.
yeah.
Or would you
So
just
long
go
as
and
that
knock on
happens,
her
yes.
cave and say, "Oh, sorry, is it a bad time?"
So yes, so
Yes.
Come back later, bring me
I
tribute.
don't
here's
know
a
that we'll
cow.
get a next time. But
Okay, dragons have been around for a very long time, right?
yes,
Someone has studied dragons at some point, correct?
there are a few tomes out there that we could probably find that would be able to help with this.
Do you think an old abandoned ruin would have some texts that might be useful?
Do books last forever where you come from, where they just like live for
No, I
eternity?
don't know how old the ruins are.
Yes,
This-
actually.
Well, that's different. But
Wait, they don't like the Great Wall?
yeah, that
Yeah,
wait.
your book.
The
Old books are electronic.
Oh well, yeah. We're
all
we're,
premise,
we're,
all
we're a little bit
premise.
lower tech than that here. We're it's not quite the
It
same.
is a different feel holding actual like paper and leather. It's different.
Maybe
But
there might be other weavers who might know more about the dragons than we do. I don't know, but it's
maybe there are tapestries. Although none of these tapestries are accurate, so it probably would not provide a good musculature.
probably not. It's gonna be a depiction.
Do you have books, or is that all tapestries? Is that the
I
only
mean,
way?
there are books. Wow, that you don't just ask people that it's just tapestries. Yes, we know how books work. That's
I mean,
not
no, I'm
beyond
not saying
us.
that you don't. I'm just saying that
It's all
you may not
tapestries.
use them.
Yes.
I don't know the cultural standard as to what
The-
what you would use.
Yes, we.
All cultures on this one planet are all the same.
Yeah. That,
He doesn't know.
okay. A little bit of cultural. What's the term?
There's not a lot of study on the culture of Omar.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to give it to you and give it to you how it actually is rather than. Well, it tends to be a thing here on this continent that the weavers have been part of our societies for many years, but not all. There's been many other countries and kingdoms and other places that have set up shop here on this continent that used books. The weavers just happen to be the orators of our history as long as they can remember. But yes, there are books.
Okay, because there are no paper maps, so I just didn't know.
Yeah, and that was as I recall, that was kind of a part of the War of Omens. They kind of got rid of the maps.
Interesting.
Yeah, they it's usually when there's warring nations, they don't want you to be able to figure out the fastest path to get to their kingdom, so they tend to burn those. Cartographers really have a bad turnover rate.
History check?
Sure. Oh, natural one.
You're right. That was the only reason that there were no paper maps. You are correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are no other possible reasons for such a
Nope.
So
That's like it.
from what I saw,
Okay.
from
Fair.
what I saw in my estimations, this path will take us under some ruins on the mountain.
Yeah, we're heading to Steingrove. That's the next stop.
Okay. Is there any way to go into the ruins just for a little bit and see what we can find?
Let's just check the town and see if there's books there. If there's no books there, maybe we can take a jaunt
Maybe
into the
we can
ruins.
hire people to go ruin diving, spelunking. I don't know. Search the ruins for us, and then on the way back,
Sure.
we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Real quick before you go,
Hmm.
may I steal you aside for a moment?
Yeah, sure. Contain the questions for just like 2 minutes.
Just
no,
a second.
not
Just give me the list back.
okay.
Let's start adding.
It's
more.
crumpled all to shit, but it is.
This is why they don't have paper records.
It is probably why.
Wow. Fucking shit. Didn't you get a book from that one lady though? in the
Yeah.
Shop?
Do you have books?
Yeah.
Has a book?
You can't just ask people if they have books.
I'm illiterate.
Yeah.
God.
No, every one of us is illiterate.
Everyone sit sitting there scrawling on walls.
Yep.
He's kind of an
What's
asshole.
happening?
Yeah. Yeah. Just he's already rubbing her temples a little bit. Like,
I know.
what's going on?
That's for the fantasy racism.
Honestly, it was Taruk trying to piss her off again.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
He's trying to get her into the tantrum hole for number 3.
Yeah.
Oh God, this makes this worse. Okay. Can we? I know this might be a bit tight. Can we speak for a moment? And,
Yeah, well-
I quickly draw out the door
Yeah.
and open, and I gesture inside.
Sure.
Just a quick moment.
I look back to Taruk. Actually, no, I don't know that you're counting these up, so it's fine. No.
The caravan is lining up. They're not
Yeah.
like ready to move yet, but they're getting ready.
Just second, everyone. She hops in.
And Hayes would hop into it. Might be kind of a tight bit, but it works.
There's not a lot of room for more than one person, is there?
It's okay. So I know that technically it's a 5 by 5 by 5 cube of space, but I mean, if you think about an actual 5 by 5 by 5,
Yeah,
cube
like
of
you wouldn't be
space-
able to. So the reason like one person gets 5 feet
Yeah.
in combat is not like that's the amount of space you actually take up. That's the amount of space you command when you're wielding a weapon and flailing about.
Yeah.
So like if you're just standing there to talk, you've got enough space.
Probably
Yeah.
wouldn't
Or
be
kinda
like.
hunched.
You don't want to be in there too long because A, it's cramped, and B, you only have so much
Right.
space.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
All right.
we have a few minutes in here. I'm coming.
Yeah.
He goes and he seals off the door.
I'm gonna try and listen at the door. I don't know if the magic prevents me from
No,
eavesdropping.
I shut the door.
I know.
We are in a dimension. It is shut.
Yeah, you
He
go
doesn't
to,
know
like-
how it works.
Yeah.
you go to like lean towards to listen to the door, and you like lean to where you think it should be, and you keep leaning, and you just pass through the space. There's nothing solid for you to lean against. Roll a dexterity saving throw just for the fuck of it.
Fall on your face.
Oh, I would. Well, 17.
You don't fall flat on your face.
Damn
but
it.
you-
Sad.
The possibility runs through your mind. Anyway.
I know this is a weird thing to ask it, but I know we've known each other for a long while. But I know that you've been stressed lately too, and
Where's this going?
I know this is going weird. I suck at words sometimes. I apologize. I'm just gonna get straight to the point. Can I steal a hug? I know that's a weird thing. If it's too weird, I can.
She wraps her up.
And he does a full embrace.
Yeah. I gotcha. What's some with the everything all right? Is it something to do with the one you talk to every night?
A bit. Yes. I just needed something real for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotcha.
And does a nice long hug, and I feel like you're a bit stressed too, and thank you.
Feel a little better, yeah. It'll get worse once I get back out of the tantrum hole.
That's fair. You're gonna be bombarded.
Yeah.
You're gonna be bombarded.
I don't know why I was tired, and I told him that it'd be better just to talk about these things, and I should have stuck with the homework because I can at least I can procrastinate on that.
Not wrong. Maybe you can take it back. I don't know if it
I don't think he will. I think they'll start having another fucking hissy fit. So that I'm unreliable or some shite like that.
I think you're magnificent and quite the fighter.
Thank you.
I'm sorry if that was received weird.
No, I'm just compliments are weird. And then she steps out.
Well, you're trying to go for the door, and you realize it's like stuck.
We're kind of wedged.
Hold on. And I open it up and
Yeah.
open the door.
While they were doing that, I'm just next to Thramlis, just like, it doesn't really count because it has to be hurt going into to relieve anger and stress, not. This was Hayes wanting some privacy. This was completely different reason. This doesn't count. Good talk. And then I just walk off.
That is some active listening.
And then I just walk off.
Yeah.
And then you sit there and be like, sorry, were you saying something?
So you actually step out and I'm walking away.
Was someone trying to eavesdrop? Can they eavesdrop? I don't know how any of this shit works.
Your paper's on the ground with like 8 more questions scrawled over.
Oh.
It's only 8
It's only
out
8.
of the 107 that are already there.
It's like the smile
Now,
faces
granted,
with
at
questions.
least 3 of them are like a 2-page essay response that he wants.
Not
But,
doing
you
that.
know.
No.
Anyway.
Probably.
So.
Cool.
Timing. The timing!
Wow.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Wait, let's get going. I want to get on the road.
So,
Yeah.
You all start to head down the road. I need someone else to roll me a percentile.
Man, you got it.
I can't wait.
I'll get the next one.
5. Ooh, it's a 0.
A 0.
7 total.
So
A 3 and then a 7.
Yeah.
Wow, we're killing these
So, yeah.
percentiles,
It's a
guys.
double 0 and a 7. Can't read these dice, but they're really nice dice.
Yep.
excellent. The tunnels are clear.
Nice.
You have an excellent day of travel. The morale is high, especially among certain very sleepy members of the caravan, who are no longer bothering their caretakers, and thus the caretakers can move a little bit faster because she's just asleep in the cart. We don't have to deal with her because she was up way faster that time.
Oh,
But-
yeah, she was.
Yes, she was. But you guys got to move on. Towards the end of the day, nothing really happens throughout the day. Towards the end of the day, you guys start to see light at the end of the tunnel.
Literal.
Literal light at the end of the tunnel.
How far away is this light?
I mean, it's as far away as you can see light. You seem like you're going to reach it by the end of the night.
I can't see that.
Well, you can't see shit.
Hey, found shit.
But you approach and you see the tunnel kind of opens and widens into a cavern that there are, walkways up the walls, different abodes cut into the walls, like 3 levels of them, and then also buildings built within this large cavern, and some that are like built into, this building is built up around this stalactite that's coming out from the ceiling, and so it's built out like this. And like just this thriving, compact little town, Stengrove. And there's a market that has set up around, kind of the main drag of this town. That seems to be, not closing up for the night, but getting close to.
Yeah.
You're in a little before dusk. But
is there a gift shop?
These are
roll
the
a
important.
perception.
I will assist.
Yay!
Oh no!
Wow.
Yeah!
Wow! I can't believe you've done
So
this.
roll with advantage.
Yes.
I don't want to allow this.
You want
I
to
have to, but I
Yeah.
don't want to.
I'm including the ducks. It's gonna be great.
Roll the damn dice.
Da-da-da-da-da. We got a 23.
You don't see a gift shop per se, but there are several sort of kitschy knick-knack shops that you could duck into. However, you guys are rolling into town. There's this thriving marketplace. There's lanterns hanging from everywhere. It's this lovely little starscape of a city. That is where we're going to call it for the evening. Walking into Steingrove. You guys will get to explore a little bit on the next session. But thank you all for joining us.
Yep.
Thank you for another excellent episode. We hope to see you in 2 weeks for yet another bit of bullshit on this channel.
Bit of bullshit.
I love pissing off Cammy.
Please,
Not
if
hard.
you feel the need,
You're so spicy.
subscribe to us here on YouTube, like this video, all of that stuff. Find us on Twitter at the Trash Castle to see all of our regular shenanigans.
Check out Frank Calico as well.
Yes.
Check out Frank Calico on
His shit is
Twitter.
legit.
Check out
Instagram.
our fantastic new character art. I'm
Oh,
so
I know.
excited.
Oh,
I'm
It's so good.
so excited. But
Cammy's so angry. So angry.
she's got so much spice. She's so spicy.
You will understand. You will understand what I'm dealing with
You're
and what
a
everyone else
spice
is.
rat.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful evening. We love you. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.